One of the things that would like guarantee a second date for me, and this sounds really weird, is that if you bought the date. If I went out with a girl and she was like,
she pays.
She paid. I would
bought the date sounds like you're a
you
whore.
purchased the. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you bought me. You bought me for the night. Then I guess I'll go.
And then I'll go on a second.
I'll go for
Right.
free next time.
I only go on first dates when I get auctioned off for that date.
Let's get dumb and have some fun. Let's get dumb and have some fun. Let's get dumb and have some fun. Get dumb and have some fun.
Welcome everybody to Let's Get Dumb. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jonah Jurkens. This is our 5th time trying it. For the listeners that know, I don't normally start the podcast, so I get very nervous when I do. Joe Kilgallen, unfortunately, is not feeling well, and he is not going to be here. But we have an incredible lineup of people. Lineup of people on our podcast. Very excited. We have an all-star coming back. One of our favorites, Deanna Ortiz, is here.
Hi.
Hey, Deanna, thank you. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me back.
I'm happy that it worked out that Joe wasn't here when you came here.
Oh my God.
Kidding.
I could have started the show if you wanted me to.
Start it.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Let's Get Dumb Podcast, the podcast where comedians talk about dumb things. I am your host, Deanna Ortiz, here with a wonderful guest. Jonah, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You're gonna come to my home and you're gonna show me up like that?
Yeah.
God
It's
damn,
actually
you're good at
very
that.
easy and not difficult.
I know. Isn't it embarrassing?
You just got to believe in yourself.
I do. I kind of believe. I think I believe in
She
myself.
put on a news voice also for that.
Hello and welcome back.
Yeah.
And we
It was pretty good. I
Yeah,
liked it,
here's a little Midwest accent
Like
coming out.
announcer, yeah.
But we also we have producer Austin on today as my co-host, which I'm
Yay,
very
here
excited
as well.
about.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really. This is probably the top 5 I was most excited about.
Oh, cool.
Right.
I feel like this is a nice clip. Top 5 that Deanna came up with it.
Right.
All credit goes to Deanna.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
hoping I'm always thinking about what we can clip.
Yeah, because
Yes.
when
We are a
unfortunately
machine here. We are desperate and sad.
we were desperate. Give us content, Deanna, please. Because last time you were here, we had a fun conversation, but we weren't doing any lists or anything.
I know. And now I listen and I'm just like, okay, now they found like a fun gimmick to do and I'm nowhere to be
Wait,
found.
you listen?
I do
Yeah,
listen.
she does listen.
Oh my God! Someone finally is on the podcast that listens as a regular.
listen.
Yeah.
Besides
Yeah.
Joe,
We
and
appreciate the
myself.
listens.
Thanks.
What was your favorite episode?
I liked the episode where you guys talked about going to Marty's wedding. I thought
Okay.
that was really fun.
That's fun.
I don't remember what you ranked. Oh, it was like something wedding themed. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Worst things at a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
worst
yeah,
thing.
I liked that one. I think it's also fun for me because a lot of people listen to podcasts and they're like, these are my friends,
Right.
but I'm actually your guys' friends. So
Right.
it's fun. I know all the people who you're talking about too. That was, I think I liked that one.
How many times have you listened and you're just like, I was there, you can mention my name?
Never.
Okay, because that's all I do. Whenever I listen to any of my,
really?
oh God,
You're a psychopath.
I know. Anytime I listen to my friends' podcasts and they tell a story, I'm always like, you could just mention my name. Like, you don't have to talk about me. I was fucking there. Or they go, my friend said this. You could just say my friend Jonah.
Jonah's
Just say
very
that.
Needy,
Oh, okay.
Very needy, Jonah.
Okay, Jonah, because you were also name dropped in an episode of the Doughboys.
It was.
Which is a huge podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And like Colt was on it. And then he said something. And my friend Jonah Jurkens, a very funny comedian. And I was like, okay, so Jonah gets a fucking call out on
Yeah,
Doughboys?
because you know why? Because Colt, is a good friend.
Oh, he
Yeah.
also knows that you want him to say that.
He knows that because you know why? Because he's a good podcaster and he knows what to do. You add
Yeah.
detail where
Yeah.
detail is needed.
No,
right?
Colt was worried. He's like, I'm gonna get a fucking text
Jonah's
message if
gonna
I
fucking
don't say
call
the
me.
words Jonah.
No.
Jurkens.
And honestly, I was like, you should keep that high and not worry about any other like mid-level podcast that isn't mentioning you. You got to shout out on like a great podcast.
On
You
Doughboys.
should just like ride that.
I did.
that
I
should
do.
be your credit.
You
I
should
was-
keep
I was
doing
thinking
that.
about that today, actually.
Cool.
Yeah, right. I honestly was. I was listening.
awesome.
I was listening to a podcast with
And no one was saying my name.
nobody was saying my name,
Yeah.
not at all.
This is a random podcast and hoping he can maybe hear his name.
I was, and then one of the people on this podcast was part of the Doughboys, and I was just like, say my fucking name to the.
Well, you say the fucking name.
I'm not because one of the guests I performed with, and we were out. John Gabris and I, we had a fucking great night. We got hammered till 5 a.m, and he was on. No, he wasn't on with Nick Weiger, but he was on another podcast. But the point is, I was like, fucking mention my. I was talking about a night that I was there.
Oh, what was
Say
the
my
podcast?
name. It was.
Because I want to listen to it now.
It's a movie podcast.
I won't listen to it now.
Oh,
Was it
Deanna
Action
doesn't like
Boys?
movies?
No, it wasn't Action Boys. He was on Blank Check.
Oh, okay.
Griffin and Blake. They were talking about European vacation.
And he mentioned his Chicago trip. And
No,
he
but I was waiting for him to talk about his Chicago trip. And it was just one of those moments I was like,
Okay.
come on, man, I just hung out with you.
Oh my
you know what I mean?
God.
You don't get like that at all?
Not with someone who I don't even know.
I know.
You thought the hang was so good that he'd be like, I gotta tell these guys about it.
Well, no, like sometimes like
Maybe he was
yeah.
talking about it after the recording.
I get it. It's fine.
Maybe.
I mean,
It's okay.
I'm not mad about it.
Does Deanna not like movies? Do you not like movies?
I like the movies that I like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've had a couple movie nights.
Yeah.
Deanna and I.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
She showed me About Time.
Oh,
Oh, that's a great movie.
it's my favorite
What a great
movie
movie.
ever. It's
Right.
such a good movie. And then I kept watching it like,
Looking at
get
me.
it? Do you get it? Yeah, I kept looking
you
at
do that?
you to like watch to be like, laugh. It's funny parts coming up now.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear what they said? You gotta remember that. That's my big thing. I'm like, you gotta listen. You gotta listen and remember.
Yeah. Austin, did you do that?
With you, I was literally about to say, this is me with Jonah. I'm like, Jonah, look, Godzilla. And then-
Oh yeah.
Jonah.
I'll fall asleep on him.
Oh, that's Jonah on his phone being like,
Yeah.
what happened? What happened?
But I do that all the
Wait,
time
what's
too.
that big lizard doing there?
What's the creator? Who's that? Is that Denzel?
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's Denzel's kid, Jonah.
What? Those sounds like him though. But why do we have to do that? I do that all the time. Whenever I show somebody something, I have to be
Yeah.
like, you like this, right? I'll turn it off if you don't like it.
You
It's fine.
pause movies that you're showing me and be like, we can
I
turn
can turn
this
it off. I can
off.
turn it
and I'm
off.
like, Jonah,
Oh,
it's the
no.
first fucking act. I don't even know what's happening.
I don't
yet.
want to waste
What
anybody's
was the
time.
other movie that we watched? Or was it just about time?
I think it was just about time.
Oh, okay.
We've had a conversation about a lot of movies.
Yeah.
About
So
watching a
I
lot of
think
movies.
it's like, especially if it's a movie that you really like, you want to make sure that the other person is enjoying it as much as you enjoy it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I love this movie. This movie is my favorite movie, and I want to watch it and make sure that you're like getting all the stuff because I want you to have the best time.
And I had a great time.
And it wasn't until the end when all the parents died that I was like, oh, this probably wasn't a good movie to show to Jonah.
Why?
Because all your parents are dead.
They are?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
All of them?
I had to remind you.
I know.
It's a very, because it's like, it's a rom-com, but at the end, it's just a movie about love and
Love and
family.
loss
It's just
and-
very sweet. And like,
That's with Donald Gleason, right?
Donald Gleason.
Donald
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I
Donald
was making sure I was
Gleason
right on
and Rachel McAdams and Bill Nighy
Nighy, yeah,
plays the
yeah.
dad. Yeah.
I want to rewatch
Davy
it again.
Jones.
I really enjoyed
We
it when
should.
we watched it.
We
I'd watch it
should.
again. What
You
was
know-
the next one we were going to watch? Because I was going to show you one.
You were.
And I was going to show
forget.
you Celeste and Jesse Forever.
Yeah.
You've already seen it.
I haven't. No.
I thought you said you did.
No, I very much did not watch
She lied
that
to get
movie
out
when
of
it
it.
came out
a
because
reason.
I was just going through a breakup.
That's what it was.
And all my friends were like, this is such a good movie, Deanna, do not go anywhere near it.
Okay.
And I was like, okay,
And this is like 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked that is because then you started going on first dates. And that's what we're talking about
Yeah.
Whoa.
tonight. Look at that
okay.
transition.
Look at that.
13
I like
minutes
that.
in, you finally know what the podcast is about.
You mean it-
Because we had such a good time talking about icks last time.
I
And
felt
that-
bad
Why?
because then we clipped it and everyone was like, she has issues. And I was like, yeah, I know.
No, we all agree. I mean, I didn't
What
agree
was
on the
ick again?
podcast.
Can you say what it was again?
Men that don't tie their shoes.
Men tying their shoes.
Tying their shoes.
Yes,
yes.
that was it. That was
I just don't want to watch it. I don't want to have to see a man tie his shoes.
Right.
No, it is kind of. What you saying that made me think about. I was like, I don't
one of
think I've
those
ever
things that's
watched
like-
anyone tie their shoes, and if I
You
did,
know.
I'd be like, I don't know. I wouldn't feel
Very
sexy.
like mundane things of like, okay, someone using a Kleenex. Ick.
Mhm.
You know,
Really? Kleenex.
Oh, okay, well, some people need. Come on.
But is
people
it how
need
they
to.
use the Kleenex?
some people need to, and I just don't want to watch it. I don't,
Okay.
you know, if you get
Like, go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
I
turn
I
around.
agree with you on that one.
I'll turn around. I don't need to see that. And it's not like a deal breaker. It's just like, that's not for me to see. This is
Yeah.
a private thing for you to do alone.
What if if a guy like shit with the door open or peed with the door open?
Oh, Pete with the door. It depends on how comfortable I am with this guy. Just
So you'd rather see somebody pee than blow their nose.
I don't.
So you'd rather see water
don't know.
water come out of a flaccid dick.
yeah.
Water.
Urine. Well, you know, a
think it's
liquid.
water?
A
Honey, that's
liquid.
piss.
Jonah's been drinking. I'm like, oh, there's water.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the guys that I date are very hydrated.
Yeah.
Jonah just pissed.
Okay,
in a
if I'd
cup.
rather see someone blow their nose or pee with the door open,
Yeah. Shit with the door open.
shit with blow their nose. Yeah, shit with the door open is a level of comfortability that I could never.
I could never.
I could never.
I don't know if I talked about this before. Have you ever dated Austin? Have you dated anybody that shit with the door open?
I want the door open, but maybe I'd be in the room.
Okay.
It was weird. I'm not saying I liked
In
it.
the
It was weird.
room.
Like in
Not the door open,
bathroom.
but in the
In
room.
the bathroom.
Yeah, like I'm brushing my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you.
That's worse. That's worse than a door open.
I
That's
guess
so much
Yeah,
worse.
'cause
While you're
you're in
brushing
the
your teeth,
space
little poop
together.
particles everywhere.
What do you? You think she's shitting on the wall, dude?
No,
It's
but
in
like
the
you're
toilet.
shit. But you're sitting in the
I feel like
smell of shit while you're
it's like
brushing your teeth.
It's like a fucking spore.
Who
in the
wants to brush your
toilet.
teeth with a bad smell happening?
Even
That's
if it's
disgusting.
someone that you are like, I love you. It's also like you shit alone. Shitting is alone. Shitting is a solo
alone.
task. You can't.
Yeah.
I dated a girl and we lived together for a little bit, and she would have the door open, and she would get mad at me for being like, "Can you close the door?" She's like, "What's the matter? What's the matter, Jonah? You don't like it?" I'm like, "I don't like it."
You don't like
And then
this
I'm
shit,
arguing
little
with
poop
her
boy?
while she's pushing shit
You
out.
know what? I don't like it.
Yeah. So why can't you
Your
open the door? She goes,
props.
"Well, that's what I like." And I'm like, "Well, I don't. Like, why does it have to be?" But we're arguing while she's still pushing poop out.
No.
And it's just like,
Oh, God.
Because every time she's like, "What does it matter?" Like, it doesn't. And it's like, why would you do this to me? And then like, this is my life right now. This is where I'm at.
No.
Ah, God, that's really funny though.
Yeah.
That's unbelievably awesome.
That is
Yeah,
so
it's so
crazy.
horrible.
No, that's bad.
And she always wanted to. She's one of those girls that's always like, I want to hold a dick while it pees.
Oh,
okay.
Have you done that?
yeah.
Oh, no.
Have you ever wanted that?
Um,
Just to see how it feels?
no.
Yeah, right?
I feel like I got the gist.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah,
listen,
no, we
ladies.
know, we know,
Just,
we know,
yeah.
I know.
If you've held a dick while it's coming, you can kind of figure out how the rest works. No,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
like stuff's coming out. This is what it feels like. Okay,
Right. And now it's flaccid.
And now
Ugh.
but now it's piss.
Right.
Is my issue.
Right.
How did we get here?
We talked about water out of dicks.
Oh God.
You were talking about Kleenexes versus.
Yeah, pooping and stuff like
pooping,
that. Would you? Has anybody held?
Have
your...
you ever held a dick while it pees?
No, I think someone's done it to me. I don't care. Like, sure.
Really?
Yeah, get your. I mean, to me, it's like
I don't need to be in
someone's
the
been
bathroom.
thinking. Someone's been thinking about it enough that it's like I can make that dream come true for you.
Are you a
Sure.
trough guy? Would you pee in a trough?
What the fuck is a trough?
Like at the Wrigley Field, where they have troughs that you pee into?
The big.
I'm sure.
big
I think
things.
I have. Yeah.
Would you like? There's a choice.
Yeah.
There's a choice. I'd never do that
You would-
anymore. I would never pee in a trough. Ugh,
No.
just dangly dicks while I'm peeing on pee. You're
Why are
peeing
you
on
looking
pee.
at the dicks, Jonah?
It's like I have good peripheral vision. It's
You
just
gotta
like
go. You go. You gotta piss. Just piss.
yeah, but I don't.
When everybody all lined up, how is it different than urinals?
Because there's a urinal, that kind of like wings out a little bit, and then they also have dividers,
But
and also like you can feel the warmth.
oh, okay.
You can feel the hot piss. This isn't like hey, I drank a lot of water today. It's kind of clear piss.
Oh, this is Wrigleyville beer piss.
Yeah, beer piss.
Beer
It comes out
piss.
like sludge. It's
Oh my
disgusting.
God, it's like oil.
Right.
Oh God, I
Did you ever
would
see
like.
Ghostbusters 2?
I would like to
with
hold a dick that's coming out with beer sludge.
Oh, so you can just feel each pump out?
No,
Gross.
I was making a joke and you made it disgusting.
Did you ever see Ghostbusters 2?
No.
That's what peeing like a trough is. It's like you're pissing on the river of sludge, the river of slime.
This is the
I don't know the
worst reference I
reference,
think
so.
you've ever made on this.
Yeah,
podcast.
but there's 4 people listening right now being like, I know exactly what that means.
I
and
know
that
what
is
you mean
perfect.
too, but I like there's so many other
Okay,
things you could have said.
Fine.
I watched a documentary on how they did that actually.
Oh, that's why. Okay,
Yeah.
this makes a little more
Okay.
sense.
Yeah. So we talked about icks, and I think you and I were discussing about like what do we want to talk about tonight, and then you were like, I don't like being mean, and I don't want to be mean, and I was like, I agree with you.
I said I'm trying not to be mean now.
You did say
I'm
I love
trying-
being mean, but I
I
don't
do
want
love to be
my
mean, but
public
I'm trying
persona.
to be nice on podcasts.
You love being mean though.
I do.
Have you ever said anything so mean to somebody, or has anybody
Yes.
said something so mean to you that it stopped becoming mean? It just became funny because you're just like, okay, that was so mean. It was silly.
No.
Never.
No, I don't think so. I feel like a lot of the mean things I say are also like funny-ish.
Right.
I feel like I'm fighting with my siblings when they say mean shit to me. I'm just like, okay, like
Yeah.
you think that that's gonna hurt my feelings? I can't help but laugh at them, even though they're trying to be mean.
Yeah.
Like my brother called me a bitch, and I was like, yeah, okay, oh, good burn, dude, good job. I was like, oh God, try something else.
He's just like, oh, I thought that was gonna hurt your
Hit
feelings.
harder, dude. Yeah, that was it. But then not really. I'm not really like, I don't know. I'm not mean to people to their face. I mean behind their back.
Yeah. Ooh.
yeah.
What's the meanest thing you ever said about Austin behind his back?
Mm-mm.
We're gonna do me next.
Do you even talk about me? I don't think people even
I
talk
think
about
that's
me.
it.
I think people
Who was
don't
it?
remember
this
who
is
I
also,
am.
Like someone came up to me at an open mic and they were like, Jonah Jurkens. No. Someone came up to me and they're like, oh, I was talking to our mutual friend and I thought that you were mad at me. And I was like, why would I be mad at you? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And then our mutual friend said to them, she never thinks about you. And I was like, that's worse. That's worse to be like, does Deanna hate me? And be like, Deanna doesn't think about you. And I was like, that's a way worse thing to say. And it's also not to be like, it's not to be rude, but like, that's kind of true. Like,
Yeah.
I think other people are like think, oh, so and so hates me, so and so. I was like, so and so probably doesn't even think about you.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself of that sometimes too. But it was just so funny of our friend being like, she never thinks of you. And I was like, you should have lied. I'm like, yeah, she has
Right.
this burning feud. At least then you're being thought of.
Or just being like, no, she's like neutral.
Yeah, I think it was the other thing that was like, I don't know.
When someone says something that mean to you, that's like, to that person, you know, you get a double O. The double O is
Yeah.
always good. Where you
Yeah.
go, oh. And then you kind of think about it. You're like, huh. Where you're like walking away being like, the fuck was that supposed to mean?
Okay,
My-
I guess.
I had this huge falling out with my family and over something we can't talk about. But like my uncle and I, who's in his, I think 70s now, he like, I kind of like sent somewhat, not an apology letter, but just kind of like, you know, kind of like, I hope you understand
Sure.
letter. And then thinking like, oh, this will open up a dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And then his response is he just says like some of the meanest things anyone's ever said to me, but it hurt. And he's not in the right to be mad at me. So I don't want to like take
He's
that
a
away.
viewer also, Jonah.
Yeah, I
Be
know.
Careful.
But so but it's really funny. He was saying all these really mean things, and it was actually affecting me finally, you know. But the thing is then at the end he goes, I don't know anyone by the name of Jonah. Like, do you ever see Can't Hardly Wait?
No.
Where the guy's like, he's dating this girl named Amanda, and then at the
Okay.
end he's just like, I don't know, Amanda, like that, and everyone's like, oh, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
So it's like my feelings were hurt up until he goes Jonah, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not even.
We said, I don't know anybody named Jonah, being like, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
But he's like, Jonah.
Jonah, like that. And I almost wanted to be like, you spelled that wrong.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it was like, you know, when someone's like being so mean, you're like, okay, this is actually affecting me. But then they go take it a little too far, and then you're like, okay, now this is funny.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I might have mentioned this on the podcast before, but the girl that made me smell her shit, she one time, I used to do a bit about this, but we were shopping and she like maybe put a hat on. It was like those newsboy caps,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, oh, I like that hat. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I can pull the hat off. And she goes, Jonah, I like it. I'm going to actually buy you it. And she never bought me gifts. So I was like, oh my
Okay.
God, that was so nice. Cut to later on, we get drunk, we come home, we're in a huge argument, right? And then she just looks at me and she goes, she like looks me up and down. And I'm like, oh, here comes something. And she goes, you look like a fucking moron with that hat on.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I was like, you bought me the hat. And she goes, that's why you're a moron, because you fucking trust me.
Yeah.
And it was one of those moments where I was like, that's just funny. I mean,
Yeah.
you set me up for that. You spent money on that.
The long con.
The long con. You spent money to insult me
Yeah.
later. Like, whoa. I was impressed.
That's crazy.
Right.
Oh, and then you never wore a newsy cap again.
I wore it a couple more
Oh,
times after
I
that.
think I feel like a newsy cap would be fine.
I don't know.
You wear a lot of hats, so why
do
not?
wear the hats,
Why
yeah.
not one of those?
Yeah. Switch it up a little bit.
Come on, go find it.
You're not really a hat gal.
Sometimes, but not ever like beanies. I wear a lot of beanies
Okay.
in the winter,
Okay.
but like
You look great in
caps-
beanies. You're a girl that looks fantastic in
Thank
beanies. This guy, not
you.
so much. He looks good in hats, though.
Oh,
Well, I like. Oh, what? You don't think I look good in beanies?
Oh, actually, you do look good in
Yeah.
beanies.
What the fuck
yeah.
are you talking?
Yeah,
about?
you're right.
My little
Well, you
wings
know-
come out.
Yeah.
You fucking. I'm not falling for your
I look
traps.
terrible.
don't neg
in
him.
beanies.
Don't do that to me.
Don't.
Listen, I would never neg. You know that. I mean,
Stop.
Don't you start.
The eye,
Don't start
the
now.
eye
You're
look you
making
just
me
gave me
What are you
was,
talking about?
was horrifying. You went
I mean, like,
like,
I mean,
Find
like
something
you
to
took
make
5 pictures with your
no,
eyelids.
I just
right
think, I
there.
think it's amazing what you think you can pull off. I think it's great.
Mm.
You
I
did
just think it's like-
compliments in my outfit.
I know.
Like,
Local,
literally
local
10 minutes
hero
ago.
Jonah
Mhm.
Jurkens.
I bought
is
this
here.
all
I mean, listen, I gotta
yesterday.
get out
This
of
is
here.
all new.
Listen, I
I
gotta get out
dropped
of here
so
in a
much
second.
money
I
on
gotta
it.
get out of here in a second.
Jonah.
Jonah.
Who was it? When I was in Ireland, everyone could tell that I was American because I was wearing my beanie inside. That's what.
Really?
Yeah, the first time I was there, I was out and I said something. There was like something like, "Oh, you just look American," and I was like, "Well, what is it? Like, what is
Yeah.
it that's giving off American?" And they're like, "That the beanie inside," and I was like, "Well, I can't take it off because now I have hat
They're
hair.
necking
That's
you.
the whole thing."
They're negging you.
No, they wear
No, it
beanies
didn't
because
work.
it's fucking cold out there.
Yeah.
I think.
I was like,
So
"Well,
it's
it's
like,
cold."
why are you? Why
and
are you
then
wearing
when you
your
go
mittens?
inside, you take the hats off, you take the beanies off, and I was like, "Well, now my hair is a fucking mess.
Right.
And what am I gonna do?"
Yeah. and
Yeah,
they're
this
like,
is
well,
Ireland.
disrespectful. Right.
no one.
I was
What
like,
is
I'm
it-
actually making a fashion statement.
Yeah.
So, did
Okay,
you ever think
question
about
for
that?
both of you. Is
Okay.
there, on a first date, let's go with something negative first. So, is there an outfit, like, is there like an instant,
Oh my god.
like, fashion choice on a first date where you're going to be like, no.
Huh.
Like, if I was wearing like a baseball cap
So
and I kept it on.
I
while
love
we-
a good girl in a baseball cap, though.
See,
I've
that's-
realized
see,
that
that's
the past
different
week
'cause
or
I
two,
like girls
'cause
in
I was
baseball
like,
hats too.
I've been like, nice. I'm liking
Yeah.
this baseball cap.
So if we were on a first date and you wore a beanie, and you wore it like in a stylish way that you do, or like this guy does too, I would be like, oh, that's nice. Like, I like that.
I don't
Right?
think I would keep the hat on him during a first date.
You don't think so? I think if you kept your outside jacket on.
Yeah, it'd have to be the full look. Like the whole look is being included.
Right.
I have a friend who, sorry, I'll start again because I burped in the middle of it. I have a friend who was going out on a first date with a guy, and she was walking to the bar, and he goes, I'll be the guy in khakis at the something, whatever. And she goes, khakis, like you got at Costco? And he was like, yeah. And she unmatched him, deleted his number, turned around and went home. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And she messaged me to be like, isn't that so funny? And I was like, that's psychotic. Like the least you could have done. Because you told this guy you were on the way. You said you were like 5 minutes away, and then that was it. At least tell him why.
Right. And you think it was maybe like he was being funny?
No, I honestly do believe that he was wearing khakis. Which, like, I don't know. I think on a first date, you very much are like trying to impress somebody. So you want to wear like your best little outfit. And I don't think I would.
Do you stress when you go on first dates about outfits?
I stress every time I do anything ever.
Yeah.
I'm stressing right now.
Yeah, I'm stressed out about the outfit that I'm wearing and what we're gonna do and if I look good and all that stuff. I don't know if there's anything that would be like, this is not. Oh, you know what? I was on a date with a guy, and it was just like a bad date in general. But he was wearing like a
shark tooth necklace.
No, it was like he was wearing like a really gaudy big chain.
Okay.
And not no.
Okay.
Hey,
bigger.
I need this chain
Really?
for the shirt.
Big chains. And
Like a rope type chain where it's kind of like
yeah, it was really big and very like you could tell like looks like a nice quality chain.
right.
Thank
We're
you.
pointing at
This was
Austin's
like
chain right now.
Thank you.
Plastic.
I need it for my
chain.
brown shirt. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like it looked just like fake and cheap.
Like a $20 Walmart chain.
Yeah, and also he was wearing like it's like a Letterman's jacket but shiny, like a windbreaker type thing, and it was just like, but it had like stuff printed on it.
Yeah,
I don't really know the name of what those types of jackets are called, but it was very much.
You had a right Letterman jacket, yeah.
Yeah, but like just a Letterman jacket, but a little bit grosser. And I was just like, why would you wear that? But at the same time, it's like, okay, whatever. Like we're here on this date. Like this is what you chose to wear on a first date. I definitely wouldn't leave anybody at the bar because of that.
Right.
But then the date was so fucking awful that I was like, and you're wearing a nasty ass fucking chain? I hate this shit. It was bad. It was an awful date. And then on top of it, I was like, when I left, I was like, and also he didn't even like dress up. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a nice restaurant too.
Was it? And was that a nice restaurant?
A nice restaurant and
He wore his nice chain, Jonah. Did you
I
not
will
hear the
never-
story?
Oh, he wore his good chain.
He wore
Yeah,
his
I'm
good
sorry. He wore his
chain.
good
Damn
chain.
it, Jonah.
I will never forget. He kept like we had a bunch of stuff to share and he kept like emphasizing his point while holding a chicken leg in his hand.
Oh,
and
I hate
like
that.
so like, da 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 ba 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 da ba ba.
Like
And
you're
I was
like,
Four
get
Christmases.
off.
what? It was crazy. And then like his water glass had like fingerprints on it because it was like he like
Oh, from the grease?
and from like he was eating mac and cheese and he would like push the mac and cheese onto his fork with his fingers. It was crazy. It
At
was
a nice restaurant too.
yeah. And I was like laughing because I couldn't believe what was happening.
Also, wings on a first date?
It wasn't wings. It was like a
Chicken
chicken
leg.
dish
Oh,
that you
I'm-
should have
I
like
misunderstood
cut
you.
the
Okay.
things off of it.
Where the-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know. I mean, it does sound like it was wings,
But
but
use
it
a
wasn't.
use a knife and fork
That's what I'm saying.
on a first date.
That's it. That is what I was screaming in my head. And then also like, he never asked me a single question about myself. He just went on and on and on and on. And I just kept laughing because I kept thinking, this is such a bad date. And I think he thought that I was laughing at the stuff that he was saying.
Oh no.
But I was like, I can't believe how poorly this is going.
and in
right
his
now.
he's like, I'm crushing this.
Literally.
I'm glad I wore
Gosh,
this
Yeah,
chain.
it
I wore the
was
good chain.
so
I wore the good
bad.
chain.
It
I
was
wore other
good
chains at home,
chain.
but I
it
wore the
was
good
crazy.
chain.
Okay, what would a
Yeah.
girl wear that you were like, no, thank you?
Gauchos.
What year do you think it is?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if it was like, I don't know. I think women can pull off. If you can pull it off, I'm okay with it. I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything, in my opinion, for women. If you can pull, but like, it would be your like outside jacket.
Yeah.
If you kept your outer jacket
Oh, yeah.
on while you
I've gone
sat
on a
down.
date like that too. A guy kept his jacket on the whole time, like his winter coat on the whole time, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
You're not gonna take your jacket off." What was the other thing? Fuck, I forgot.
Austin,
What?
while she's thinking.
Oh,
What's your thoughts on this?
I don't think I've ever been on a date and looked at someone's outfit. So
Really?
like I purposely on
Clearly with his outfit. You
Okay.
can tell him.
All right.
Whoa.
on.
Wait, no,
Give me-
guys, we
come
gotta be
on.
nice here. We gotta be
Come on.
nice.
Yeah.
We even said no more being mean.
No mean stuff. Okay.
That's
No
right.
mean.
You're right. I'm sorry.
But like I purposely wear like really neutral stuff. Like I'll just wear a solid color and jeans
That's smart.
with the idea that knowing that if I go on a date with someone like Deanna, they'll be looking at the outfit.
Okay.
So my thing is that like if you're gonna like, because then on the second or third day is when I wear my best thing. That
Okay.
is when I will
Oh,
wear my
that's
best
Right.
thing because then is like oh
Yeah.
because then it's different to me. It's different. It's like I come in, it's more about me and my personality and us getting to know each other. Then when I come in next, that's when I'm like, well now.
Oh, did
Also,
you know I'm a fashionista?
Also, look at this shit.
Right.
You like this shit right here? So like, to me, it's like a test of like, yeah, if you're gonna judge me, because like, yeah, I have nice outfits, but also like, if I keep wearing my best fucking outfit on every first date,
Right.
then I'm gonna. I think psyche wise, it's gonna psych me out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because then on the second day, I'm like,
What do I wear now?
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have anything. But yeah,
Austin, what's your move on a first date if you don't think this is going anywhere? Like kind of like with Deanna's story, like about the guy with the chain.
I've never had a bad first date. And I know that
See, I
sounds like
never have
I know that sounds like a real asshole piece of shit thing, like I'm blind or something. But I'm like, every first date I've had, there's been a second. I've
Every
never
single one.
not
So
had.
then what was the bad second date?
I think the bad second date was more the realization. It's like, oh, you are like, I want a girlfriend. And they're kind of like, I don't know, and we're kind of like, maybe we should stop right here.
Like we're just
instead.
on the same
Yeah,
path.
like it's never. I've never had a second date where it's like, fuck you. No, never, ever. So no, the second date usually. I mean, shit. I mean, you say like third date is usually when it would be like the decision of like, do we move forward with this or
Yeah.
what's going on here? Yeah. It's, honestly, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a difference between like a first date and like a one night thing.
Right.
Also, I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Right.
In case the one of them's listening, like, well, wait, we didn't. have a second date.
called me back.
Or like, we didn't have a date. We went to a bar and had peanuts for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's not a date.
Is it hard, Deanna? Is it hard for you to get a second? Is it hard for
Yeah.
you not to get a second date?
Yeah.
But is it hard for you to want to have a second date with somebody?
It's
Does it take a lot of some?
Those are two really good questions
Good job,
and very
Jonah.
different questions. Good. You got it, boys. It's sometimes it does feel hard to get a second date sometimes, especially because I don't tell people that I do stand up until I am on a date with them because I stopped because when I started
smart.
messaging people and I tell them that I do stand up, they ghost me.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I love that.
It's
Wouldn't
crazy.
you,
I
wouldn't
think
you
it's
rather
really
have that
weird.
up front though?
No.
Yeah, but I think that okay, so like telling them in the message in the app, they don't really like they don't really get my sensibility. They don't know they're not seeing me face to face. I feel like
Right.
I'm better in real life than I am on the page. But at least then when I can talk to them in real life and be like, okay, yeah, so I do stand up and because that's the thing. If I tell someone on a dating app that I do stand up, their first instinct is to go to Instagram and search for Deanna stand-up comedian.
Okay.
They find my stand-up and they think, bitch, blah, blah. She's just doing this to use me as fodder, which is not true. And so then talking to them in real life, I can say, okay, like this is an exaggerated persona of who I really am. And I don't use a lot of the stand-up about dating that I have is based on like 2 or 3 people that
Right.
I've have broken up into different chunks. And it's not a lot. You know, it takes a lot for me to then put someone in my stand-up.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier to understand, except for me on the app being like, wait, before you look me up, you know, because then they're already gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had problems with people that you dated, with the material of your ex-boyfriends or like past dates? Has anybody been like, I don't like when you talk about that?
No. Well,
See,
I don't date anybody. I don't date anybody that I would give a shit if they were like, that's not funny. I'd be like, well,
No,
then I'm
that's
gonna
not
talk to
funny.
you.
It's just like
I
the
don't like
subject
when you do
matter
that.
makes me feel uncomfortable.
No one's ever said that, and if they did, I'd say, I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, that
Nice.
was
Like,
well,
Huge.
that was hard things. I think I feel like that's more of a
because I'm
female
not
thing.
dating them. I'm just seeing. We're just going on dates. It's not like they're anything to me. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Well, that's my point. Like, have you ever dated somebody
Brad-
that's been like that?
No.
Okay.
The last person I dated was the ex that we were talking about
Okay.
earlier. Than
Yeah.
that, I've not had a boyfriend since 2019.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's more of a choice because you're also so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the face you made of like, oh, that's a good reason. It was really funny.
Yes,
You're like,
no.
that's why.
Oh, yeah, Jonah
that's
figured it.
why.
Jonah
Right.
figured it out.
Yeah, I
All right.
figured it out.
It's a little bit of A and a little bit of B. They're like, I'm very busy and also like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
No,
I know
like
for
the
the
picky, I like the pickiness. It's better than just Oh god,
I'm not being picky, honey.
Oh, sorry. well, like nothing like wasting a year here, a year here, a year here. I mean,
Yeah.
those years add up, and then you're dead.
What?
And then
Why'd you
you're
get so
dead.
And then
Sorry,
years add up and then you're dead. That's the name of the podcast now. The years add up and then you're dead.
And then you're dead.
Yeah, and then you're
Good.
dead.
Yeah.
Well, it's not to be inside baseball for the listeners, but like it is hard, like having the career that we have and finding somebody that is understanding towards all the sacrifices that takes.
Yes.
Like in your personal life.
Yeah.
Because like our schedules are so like, we work on the weekends. And most people work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. So then like their weekends is like their time to party. And
Yeah.
you're like, that's why I'm going to work.
And to go out on dates and stuff. Like people are like, oh, I'm free this Friday. And I was like, that'll never happen. And if
Right.
I give a Friday night to somebody for a date, it's definitely not going to be a first date.
Right.
That would never happen. I'm going to go out on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday for a first date.
And then they're
say,
like, you want to go Dutch? You're like, I lost money for this, motherfucker. Like, are you talking about? And you
Don't
go wear
you
that
know?
chain? What, so you can buy another chain?
I could have been at frickin' Frack's Jumbo Show at the Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a real place.
I could have been at the Giggle Hut
Yeah.
all weekend. You know how much more?
And
You know?
instead, I'm here with you.
Yeah, I'm missing out on 2 free drinks, my guy.
$20.
Right. And people not respecting me because I'm a woman in comedy. Like, I'd rather fucking do that than with this
I
bullshit.
would rather. I mean, yeah, that date was bad. But other than that, there's normally first dates are just like you kind of like get the vibe or not.
Right.
You know, you're like talking to someone. You get like I always will be like, okay, 2 drinks and then I'm out.
Okay.
And if you're having a good time, you can keep going. But yeah, like the last time I had it was a fine first date, and we made plans for a second one, and then I was just kind of like, I just don't really want to date right now.
Yeah.
And this was kind of recent. I sent him a message and I was like, I think you're really cool. And I'm sorry that it took us going on one date for me to realize that I don't want to date anybody right now. But I would hate to go on a second date and like lead you on. And so I was like, well,
That's
just
really
like,
noble, yeah.
that I'm like, I know we had plans and I'm sorry, but like, bye.
Peace out.
And basically that's what I was just, and he was very understanding, but it was just kind of like, this is kind of shitty.
The guy was super understanding too.
Yeah.
You missed out. What are you
I
doing?
really did.
You gotta go
Let's
back.
text that guy.
Yeah,
Let's
call
text him
him
right now.
right
You want to call him right now?
now.
Yeah, call him right now.
Look at that
No,
podcasting.
he was like, if this changes, let me
Sorry.
know. I thought, yeah, I had a great time, whatever. But
Yeah.
can you guys stop jerking each other off?
Sorry,
during the
I think I got that
podcast?
too. Like, I cut away as soon as you were like that. I think it was really funny.
Well, I mean, that's how I know I have a good first date with Austin after he jerks me off.
Because
Yeah.
he jerks you off.
Right
That's
under the
pretty good.
table. I don't even wait for dessert, baby.
No.
Wow.
I mean, you need that topping on the dessert.
my God.
Okay, so I think both of you've been on a lot of first dates. I haven't been on one in a while. I've been in a very committed relationship for 4 years.
Oh my God.
But I definitely I
With a
had my
girlfriend
fair
way
share.
more cooler and funnier than you.
I know it's
She's
embarrassing.
unbelievably more funny.
Oh, she's so funny.
I mean, it's
very frustrating.
astronomical, Jonah.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
Every time we see her, we go, what are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Get out. Get out now. And she
Yeah.
goes, he's nice. I was like, he's not
Yeah.
nice.
And he's like,
he
he
needs
has
me.
things on me. And I was like, yeah, we're
you
bearing
need
that
help?
body together,
Yeah.
brother. I know. So I thought it'd be interesting because I think it was a good idea that we don't just talk about like, hey, how do you fuck up dates? Like, how do you get to the next level?
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And I'm trying to make this as gender neutral as possible, and also, well, it shouldn't just be like this is how guys fuck up. It's just like how people fuck up, or like what makes you get a second date? I guess.
No,
Yeah.
I just gave you an eye because I'm like, it is.
Because we're not,
Like,
yeah.
it seems like both ways can fuck up the same way. I feel
Yeah,
like,
because
pretty
anybody
easily.
listening, you need to prove to us that you get a second date. Like,
Yeah,
like I got to prove
leave
shit
it
to
to
you.
me.
We
Right.
are in charge
Yeah.
every time we walk in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Drew Michael had a great joke about that, where people were just like, "How was the date?" He's like, "Great, I was fucking there.
Yeah.
Like, I was great with."
That is good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I do feel like. Do you feel like that? Where you're just like, not to be cocky. I think Austin kind of alluded to this earlier, where you're just kind of like, "Yeah, this is a great conversation," because like,
Because I'm
I'm
bringing
a
the
fucking
charm.
professional
No, yeah.
comedian.
I wasn't a date. I was just at a bar talking to somebody, and I was just like, I didn't want to really talk to this person, and then I was like, whatever, I'll just like talk to somebody and get my flirt on, and then move on with my life. And I was in a different city, so I was like, whatever. And then he kept like buying me drinks, and I was just like, I'm having a blast. I'm charming. I'm funny. Like all the liquor is here, and like he's hanging on my every word. And then he was like, there's another bar that has a great vibe. And so we went to another bar, and I was like, that was my mistake. Like going to the second bar that has really good vibes, that's when the flags get raised. But yeah, there definitely was a time where I was just like, I am killing it right now. It could be anybody. It could be, and it was anybody.
Yeah, I'm like that though too. I'm the asshole in the sense of like, if I'm I know that I'm coming to this date bringing 100% of my questions,
Mm-hmm.
my listening. I will connect things to start. I'm coming bringing my all. I've never once had a date where I was like, I'm not feeling it right now. I literally am like, I'm giving you my all. So yes, this is like, good thing you're with me right now.
Yeah.
Because you will remember this day.
Well, because that's exactly why I canceled on that other guy, because I was like, I cannot be that person right now. To be like listening to you and like remembering the shit that we talked about on the first date and like doing all that. I don't want to do that right now. And it's not to say anything against him, because he was a really nice guy. And I do think we had a really great first date, but I was like, I just can't be this present on person for this date.
Right.
And why would I bring that to this
Trying to
person?
puzzle things
And you're like
together.
texting and being like, listen, you're going to fall in love with me.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry about
And
that.
like, I don't want to hurt your heart later. Like, I'm just going to hurt it now.
I'm not going to do that and waste this guy's time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it was just like a weekday, but I was like, it just doesn't feel like fair to either of us for me to go and like half-ass this, when hopefully, I think, when people go on dates, they would bring that energy of like, I'm here, I'm on, I'm listening, I'm present.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like some people would be like, well, that sounds like a real asshole thing to do. But it's like, no, that's kind of like, I go to the dates hoping one day someone will bring that exact energy to me. And it does not happen, because a lot of people, I blame in my sense, I blame other guys for setting it up bad to where they're expecting it to like not be an engaging time. And it's just like staring at each other.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like if you just go in with that confidence, like I'm going to come in and even though I'm nervous, I'm going to ask questions and I'm just going to smile and have a good time. Then that's all you kind of really need.
Right.
That's the first step right there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they wear a gold chain and some like weird jacket, then then you got to try a little harder, I guess.
Or
I
like
don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You act like you choke on something and then leave. I don't know.
What would be worse, pointing
that
a chicken leg at you, making a point, or a knife? Like the knife that he's cutting the chicken with.
Oh my God, if it was a knife, I would have left. There was a point, like, because we had like a dinner and then a movie planned after. And there
On
was
your first date? Movie?
and there was
What are we doing?
dude, it was Palestinian war documentaries.
Oh my God.
Deanna, I think you missed out. What are you doing?
I went to the movie.
You
And
did?
Yeah. Because at that time, I was like, how do I get out of this? After dinner, I wanted to be like, what is the way to be like, I gotta go. And I just couldn't figure out a way to do it. And he was like, well, we have this. And I was like, okay. And so then he was in the bathroom and I was texting my friends. I was like, help. And, they were like, we'll call you and you can like leave. And I was like, I don't think that's going to work, whatever.
Right.
So I was just like, I'll just do it. And so then I do it for the gram. And so I like had the date. And then after we were both just like, well, goodbye. It was really, really bad.
Did
But
you
I
try to-
have...
Did you do the hug? Did you do the
I
kiss?
just hug and that was it. And
Okay.
he was like, do you want me to walk you to your car? And I went, no, no, I'm actually all good. I'd rather get mugged. But,
That's how good of a date is. You kind of rather have everything
I'll
stolen
risk
from me.
getting mugged. Thanks though.
Right.
But I have ended something with someone because the same guy that like wouldn't take his jacket off, he wasn't present. He wasn't there. I was talking to him and it was like talking to like a fucking wall. And then at the end I called him out on it and he was like, oh yeah, I was like really sick these past couple days, but I really wanted to see you. And I was like, because it was like a third date. And I said, it was a Friday. And I was like, I have so little Fridays off.
Oh,
and I would have preferred you to cancel on me if you weren't feeling up to it than to do what you did to me last night, which is waste my fucking time.
And you felt that because of your third date, so you felt that huge
I
difference
knew something
between...
was wrong. And I was like, you all right? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm just getting over being sick. And I was like, the fuck?
Right.
Like, he's like, and then I called him out at the end of the date. I was like, this just like wasn't fun. I didn't have a good time. You felt like 100 miles away. Like I was trying to make conversation. It was felt like talking to a fucking wall. And he was like, yeah, I just, I probably should have canceled, but I was really looking forward to seeing you. And I was like, that doesn't make me feel better.
Yeah.
In fact, it makes me feel worse.
Yeah. He's like, hey, do you want to...
Literally, I was just like, dude, think about...
Post or pre-COVID?
This was after COVID, but it wasn't...
And it was after COVID?
But it wasn't COVID.
Yeah, but still after COVID.
Hey, it's over.
Yeah. COVID's famously over, dude. Get over it.
It's
Let us
not
live.
over.
Get over
It's
it.
not over for me, goddammit.
It's my war.
It's my war.
It still isn't over. What movie is that from?
I don't know. What is it from?
It isn't over. It still isn't over. It wasn't over. It still isn't over.
I know this movie. What fucking movie is
The Notebook.
it? Oh, right. What is it? If you're a bird, hey, if you're a bird, I'm a bird.
That you would have gotten that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a gimme right there.
Uh-huh.
That's easy.
Okay. let's talk dates. First dates, okay?
Okay.
We're
First
finally
date.
talking about it. We ain't talking about bad dates. We're talking about good dates.
Good date, green
Good
flags.
dates. What are some green flags? We're not gonna do top 5. We're just gonna get to our 5s,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
It's
What
a my
guarantees
5
a
night. We're
second
doing a
date?
my 5.
What guarantees
In
a
your
second-
mind, what guarantees a second date?
There you go.
Right.
See, doesn't that flow better?
In my mind, what guarantees a second date?
What needs to happen?
I would say someone who, or a green flag that would be like, oh, this is going to be fun. I'm going to have a good time. Is someone, whoever initiates the like, let's meet. This is the time. This is the place. Let's go.
Okay.
Like having a plan. I don't want to be like, it should be the guy's chance to make the date and do all of this. Cause like whoever is like, let's meet in real life. That should be the planner.
Okay.
And 100% when I will reach out for like, let's go out again. Here's what we should do.
Okay.
You know, if I'm the one that's pitching a date or a second date or a third date, I feel like at the beginning, you gotta work. You
Yeah.
gotta clock in. You gotta, okay, this is the day, this is the bar, this is the time. Cause I know it's a lot of work for guys to do it. And it feels great when I'm just like, just tell me where to be and I'll put my lipstick on. So I like to do it for a guy to be like, okay, we're going to meet at this time, at this place, everything's sorted.
So take initiative.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, hey, this is what I like. And
Yeah.
so you get to know like their tastes and if they have a good restaurant.
Because I'll also ask and be like, okay, what should we do? Let's go to a concert. Okay, great. I have tickets for, well, so I get to show off. And I'm like, I got free tickets to a bar at I got free tickets to a show at Shuba's. So let's meet there for dinner and then we'll go get the free tickets. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So instantly you're like, okay, already green light the second date if the
Yes.
date goes well.
Yeah, because there's
you
nothing
planned it.
worse than like talking to someone and being like, where do you like to go? I don't know. Where do you like to go? Just make a fucking decision. Because here's the thing. Nobody gives a fuck. Just go
Right.
to a bar.
Right.
Pick a place.
Yeah.
Do a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? I think a lot of people will be like, I'm down with whatever you want to do is fine with me.
Right.
And they think that makes them seem like
Easygoing,
affable.
yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't. It makes you seem like a little bit.
Yeah. A little indecisive.
Yeah.
It's just like, just make a decision for
Make
me,
a
please.
decision.
Right.
Nothing is hotter than a guy being like,
This is what we're doing.
7:00, this bar, 8:00, this place. Like, yeah, okay, great. I don't know where I'm
8 o'clock this time. That's
bar,
where
club, another bar.
yeah. I'll be wearing the chain. You black dress.
Yeah.
Chain.
Chain.
Yeah,
You
well,
make
that
the
would
chain.
be crazy. If a guy was like, you should wear this,
Would you like that? Ooh.
I think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think I would listen.
Okay.
Women love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want assertiveness right off the bat. Okay. Confidence. There's a confidence to assertiveness.
Yeah.
Not controlling, but assertiveness. Okay.
You ask it as a question. I used to do that. I used to be like, you got a sundress? And be like, oh yeah, I got a sundress. I'm like, yeah, you should wear that.
Yeah.
Like
That
make it
is so funny.
make
Yeah.
it seem like that like this event we're going to
Right.
requires it, but it's like, no, I just want to see
Right.
this time.
Yeah.
You got a sundress?
You got a sundress?
I'm sure I could find
Yeah.
one.
You have a remote controlled rabbit, right? Yeah. You're like, right? Oh, you don't have that? Okay.
I used to be a fucking fiend, dude. I used to
That's
be
so
like,
funny.
like that would be like a second. I wouldn't do that on the first day, but second, third day, I'd be like, I want to see you in a dress. But I wouldn't say that. I'd just be like, you gonna wear a dress?
Right.
You have a dress? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, you should wear that. I'll wear something
Yeah.
nice too. And they're like, oh, okay, as long as you're wearing
Yes.
something nice too. And I'll be like, okay.
That is so.
Because on the second day, I'm wearing something nicer.
Yeah.
It's energy.
Okay.
Jonah, it's energy.
Uh-huh.
I feel like
Synergy.
this is all we're just teaching Jonah
Yes.
for when he's 60 and alone.
Oh, Daddy's
your
great at
girlfriend
first.
friendly wises up.
when she starts her stand-up career and then she's on Joe Rogan and you're crying.
And then Jonah's gonna send a text to some like 20-year-old. Do you have a sundress? She's like, no, you sick fuck, I don't.
Right. I'm just messaging on people's like DMs being sexy or people's like posts.
yeah, just like sending hearts and flames.
Yeah,
I
I hope
like
you're having a good day.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, we'll
First
help
off,
you.
this really hurt my feelings.
We'll help you before you get to that.
I know.
I'm incredible at first dates. First off, I'm incredible at first dates.
I'm sure you are.
First
I'm
off,
sure, I'm
I am
sure, I'm
insane.
sure.
I'm so I'm very good at. I got
I'm
anecdotes.
not being sarcastic.
I practice
I'm
my
sure
stories.
You are. Yeah, you have lots of you do have lots
You're
of very
super
good stories.
interesting.
You are.
Super.
I am.
You have
Also,
lots
I
of
haven't done
stories.
the sundress thing in a while. I know you're judging me about that. That was high school me. I used to do that in high school.
High school Austin was like, you should wear a dress.
That's
Yeah, to this event. Well,
That's
we would
in
go
high
to somewhere
school,
nice.
that's
High
crazy.
school.
Yeah, we go somewhere nice.
Okay, so let's talk about first
well,
dates
that
here
was
for you.
mainly because in like high school, it's like, let's go karting. Like it used to be shit like that. But if you were the guy that was bringing people to actual dinners, you were the
Yeah.
guy that was gonna get the dates.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the business of there. If you went on a date with the
Why'd you all of a sudden do an accent with that?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you're gonna be the guy that does that, you're gonna be the guy that gets the dates.
Sorry.
Okay,
I like-
I'm from New Jersey, and everybody knows that.
I think it was my Jordan Belfort like coming out with like being like, I said, so what you would do?
Okay,
is that
give me one of your top 5s now.
You're
on a date.
I actually did like personal things, like ways to get me to have a second date. I didn't do general ones. I did like
That's what this is.
I wrote like
personal
really
ones.
specific ones, and I'm like, this might be interesting because I know Deanna was gonna bring the heat with like the real good ones, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna do some really weird ones.
Make a plan. That's mine.
Make the plan. Hold
Yeah,
on.
be a fucking man about it.
Could you grow the fuck up, dude?
Yeah,
That's
could
what
you
I gotta
fucking
say.
grow the fuck up, dude?
Like,
I love
could you man
Deanna's,
up?
I could
like,
see you
blunt.
saying to somebody, "Could you grow the fuck up, dude?"
I wish I could.
So one of the things that would like guarantee a second date for me, and this sounds really weird, is that if you bought the date. If I went out with a girl and she was like,
She pays.
she paid, I would
Bought
be,
the date sounds like
like
you're a
you
whore.
purchased the yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, you bought me. You bought me for the night. Then,
Right.
then I guess I go.
And then I'll go on a second
I'll go
date.
for
Right.
free next time.
I only go on first dates when I get auctioned off for that date.
$150 down.
okay.
Yeah.
$75 for extra. But no, like if they buy the whatever the event was, if they bought it without it being like a discussion,
Like they surprised you with an event. So it's
Yeah,
not like
basic-
dinner, I pay for dinner.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
was-
hey, let's go to this event. I got us tickets.
they don't even need to say that. It's just like they just do it. I'm like, oh, this is
Okay.
interesting. Because like again, we live in a society where it's usually the guy does it, or now it's more like we split it. But if they
Yeah.
just do it, I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because that tells me that okay, so now it's my turn. Or in that,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you brought me to this and paid for it. Now I need to bring you to something of mine and pay for it.
Right.
And then that usually starts the exchange. Like I actually started a relationship that way. That we would volleyball dates back and forth
Okay.
for months.
You don't-
It was a long time until we then were like, okay, I will just pay for all. Like we've proven
Yeah.
we can do this.
Is
So
it hard for you because then you feel pressure to have sex with them?
That is.
That's why. That's
You said that, Jonah, and I genuinely like that's a real thing
Yeah.
for me. That has happened to me a couple of times where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, I gotta perform, and I'm not
Yeah, I
fucking
gotta eat
at
this
all
guy.
ready to perform.
when I split shit on dates. That's because I'm like, I don't owe you shit right
Nice.
now because
Do
that's
you
like,
do that? Okay, so when you split,
yeah.
do you, in all honesty, I don't mean this in a shitty way, but like, are you like, I'm going to do the thing because if he really does want to split, I want to split, but really ultimately I want to like act like I care and I want them to pay?
No, I will.
Because that's my number 5. On mine is like, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No,
what you
when
were
people
saying.
do that, when like, oh, let me split, and you go, no, I got it, and they go play Swiss ways. You go, no,
Yeah.
I insist. And they go, okay.
Yeah, like that it's a game,
Yeah.
but like the idea where it's like, and I know that you probably, I do like to pay, but I don't like to be expected to pay on first dates or on anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's annoying.
So
It's
like
annoying.
a first date, if I like the guy and I'm like, we're probably gonna go out to another bar. If he wants to buy something and I go, let's split it, and he
Mm-hmm.
goes, no, and I go, okay, well, I'm gonna get the next one, and then we go out to another bar and I get the next one.
Yeah.
But if I'm like not having a good time, and like, not to bring it back to that other date, this guy kept making like comments about how he didn't have a lot of money, and so then
On a
he was
first
just
date?
like, oh, this is like I got a couple of like you can get whatever you want tonight or whatever, and he's like, well, it's and I was just like, that is such a ick.
Yeah.
And I was like, I even told him, I was like, well, you don't have to pay for me. I'm happy to pay for myself. And he was like, no. And I was just like, let's get one thing fucking straight.
Right.
I don't expect shit from you. But if a date's not going well and he wants to pay, then I'll go, oh, let me pay. And then he's like, no. And I go, oh, come on, why not? Like, let's split it. It's fine, whatever. And like really push it. Just because not that anybody has ever been like, well, now you owe me this because I bought you a taco. But there is that thing in your head that's like, I don't want you to think that this is going to
Right.
happen.
Right.
And just so we're on the same page. You know, I think going on a date with a real asshole, that would probably come out. But like, you know, the people that I date are fine and not assholes. But you just want to cover all your bases.
Right.
I'm paying for this.
Yeah. I like
So
that.
sometimes it is the back and forth of like, aren't I so silly? I have
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I'm a woman.
I have a smooth
like,
brain, nothing works out
I'm
for me.
splitting this with you.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good move too. Like if it's like, I mean, I'd like to pay for the first date. I just think that's just, you know, what you do. But like the act of like, do you want to like, and like knowing that they would split it.
Yeah.
That's good. And then, or it's like, let's go to another place and I'll get you a drink.
Yeah.
You know, like that. It's like, oh, that's fun. Like reciprocal. And
Yeah.
that's like kind of good shit.
Yeah. Like I took a guy out it was his birthday, and so I took him out and I bought dinner, and then we went to another bar, and then he got the drinks, and I was just
Nice.
like, great, fine. done.
Right.
That's it.
Right. I've told the story about the guy that took the girl out to 2 dinners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Have I told you this story? I'm gonna say it again. I don't give a shit. For the listeners, sorry. It was a like
I
a year
haven't heard
ago.
it.
Okay.
We'll cut it out.
So I'll tell you who it is later. But this
Just bleep this whole thing out.
Yeah.
Have me be like,
this girl goes on a date with this guy, and
you know this person.
Yeah, and
Do
you
I
do
know
too,
this?
and I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Right. You know both of them actually.
Okay. Good.
And but they don't really know each other, right? It's weird that we know these people. So he gets hammered, right?
Okay.
He's starting to get really hammered.
Okay.
But it's still a good date. And she's having such a good time. She's like, I'm gonna do something nice. I'm gonna go pretend to go to the bathroom and pay for the dinner. And then so she does that. She sits down, and then the waiter comes up and is just like, here you go, for her to sign it. And he's just like, wait, what are you doing? And then she's just like, I'm gonna get dinner. And then he's like, no, I'm supposed to get dinner. And then she's like, hey, next time. Like, hey, I want a second date.
Yes.
Like that was her
an
cute,
open invitation.
That was her cute way of being like, I want a second date.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take me out.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you can pay.
And instead he goes, and this is when he starts getting drunk. He goes, no, we're going for another dinner right now. And he takes her on another steak dinner. He makes her eat 2 dinners.
Of us.
Right. And then he pays for it, and he gets even more drunk. And then he like takes her home in an Uber or whatever and drops her off. And then he's like, oh, I'll come up for a drink. And she's like, no, I think you had enough. And he's just like, yeah, no, I'm going to come up. And she goes, no, we're okay. And he goes, but I paid for dinner. You're supposed to fuck me.
Oh, I love this.
Right?
You have to tell me who it is.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. That's when I was like, dating's a little different for women. I'll tell you that. It is crazy.
The second that someone's like, another steak dinner, I'd be like, I'm obviously leaving because
Right.
you're a psycho.
Right. Especially when you do.
I'd get it to go.
I would be so fucking.
But that's how weak
we
this
go to
guy's
Gibson's
ego is.
and then we go to like Maple and Ash.
know,
I'm like,
right?
ooh.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, okay.
Put in a doggy bag, please.
You're like, you know what? You make a great point. Let's go.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I just start stuffing my pockets.
Especially when it's like a nice gesture. When she's just like, if someone did that for me, I'd be like, we're going on a fucking second date. I'm going to give you the best dinner ever. But like, he's like, no, fuck that. No.
Wow. Because she probably would have fucked him if she had gotten dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what a good comeback to that would be for like a woman? Sorry, I don't know why I put my over on you. Is like, she's like, no, you get the next one. It's like, and then the guy is like, oh no, I was gonna. Sorry, this is super cheesy, but if the guy's like, no, I was gonna cook for you for our next one, instant.
I hate that.
The cooking.
You don't like when people cook?
No.
Yeah, but some people are like, if you cook, like, oh my god, the amount of bios I used to see was like, if you just know how to cook and shit, and I'm like, I'm too lazy.
Not on a second date. A second date. Taking
That's
me to
too
your
intimate.
home?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's
and you're
too
going to cook
much.
for me? No.
No. That's like a fifth date thing.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's we already know each other. We've gone to, been out in public. Like a first or second date, like at your house, you must think I'm an idiot. Like you really do think that you're going to take my kidneys tonight. Get the fuck out of
My
here.
kidneys tonight.
The kidneys.
Okay, Deanna, number 4. We got here. Got another one?
Another green flag is, I don't know. I feel like mine are so cliche of just like asking questions of like someone that
too
actually
many
just seems interested
Okay.
in you and
Like
not
follow-up questions.
yeah
Right.
yeah, or someone that like can keep keep things together, right?
Yeah.
Keep the story going, or like, oh, so I mentioned so and so as my friend, and then I mentioned them a little later. They're like, oh yeah, the person about this, like,
Oh, nice.
tying things together. If I'm like,
Or be like, whatever happened with that? Like how'd
Yeah.
you like? Do you like it when people are like, how'd you feel about that? Like, what was your thoughts on like if they want to like dig a little deeper with you?
I don't know. On a first
me, I
date,
do that all the
a first date feels very, let's just do like surface stuff,
Really?
right? So like,
See, I hate that.
I do
That's
too.
what I
That was one of mine.
That's what
was
you want?
I like when people, because there's that rule that girls have sometimes where like we don't talk about exes on the first day. I'm like, but it's like some of the most interesting stories, especially for me, but some of the most interesting stories people involve an ex of some kind. And then you can learn about like
You hate that?
I never want to talk about an ex. I never want to talk about bad dates. What I also don't like is when people are like, so what are you looking for on the apps? And I was like, no, this.
Oh no, that's horrible.
no,
Yeah, that's a bad
yeah.
question. Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
5-year plan?
Yes. Oh my
Ugh.
God. To die? After
I got a
this?
5-second plan. I'd kill myself right now.
Yeah, so I feel like it's people that can, I was talking about this specific thing earlier, and then they're like, oh yeah, kind of about like what you were talking about before. Like
Yeah.
that's nice.
Right.
I think it just shows like not only like I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say next, but
Right.
also I'm like I'm listening to you.
Right.
Which is
Like having
But also know the second date, you're
having
going
a
to continue.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
like
what
the
they call
second
it.
date, they're going to be like, whatever happened with that? And you're like, oh, you care. It's like, yeah, of course I care. That's why we're on a second date.
No, yeah,
dumbass.
I like listening. And then like, I did this thing. I still do it to this day. Whenever a date's going really well, I will like at some point when like we're not together, like say there's a bathroom, I will actually like write notes like of like things they liked. Like they mentioned they like this kind of dress or this. I still have some notes on there, and then so that way like if I'm thinking it's going well, I'm like I'm gonna probably see this person for like a month, at least like a while. Then if I buy a gift or something, I have a list of stuff, or if I have a conversation, or I'm like, I'll look this up. And then some things I've like actually got into because other people like them.
Okay.
And now they've become my thing.
I
I
can't.
like that too. Like if it's like, oh, you like this? Have you heard about this? Have you watched this? Have you read this? Oh, I like
Well,
that.
like,
Okay, so
people
honestly,
also-
let's really talk about this. Okay, what you just said. So, Deanna, you're okay with if you went to the bathroom you're on a date with Austin, you go to the bathroom, you come back, he's scribbling on.
You would
on a piece of
never
notebook.
ever see that.
No, what if you get caught? That's my point.
I'm
is
on
what
my
if you get
phone,
caught?
asshole. I don't have
and you're
a
writing,
fucking
and you go,
notebook
you go,
like
you go, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm making all the notes about the things you told me. Your address, your middle name.
not that
yeah,
shit.
I would
No, I'm
not.
talking
I would
about,
not like that. I think what he's actually saying, psychopath, is
No, it's really cute what he's doing.
like food, like they mentioned, like, oh, I'm vegan. I'm like, I'd write that down, or
you need to remember that.
Well, yeah, or like I've really been.
Oh, this band. I like this band. Or I've
Yes,
never heard
that,
of them.
yeah,
I'm gonna
or
write
this
them down.
restaurant I want to go
Yeah.
to, this at some point. Like I'm like, because sometimes I'm like, are you telling me this for a fucking reason?
Yeah.
Because you never know when people are testing you.
That's a
So
good-
I'm like,
That is a good tip.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Remember.
Don't pull out a
Yeah.
fucking Sherlock Holmes fucking notebook and flip it open and start the Blue's Cluesing it. No, you just type it in your phone, a little notes app, being like, oh, they mentioned they liked Oreos a lot.
Yeah.
Just like simple shit, like Finding Nemo was one of the first movies they saw. I don't know.
Are you
Anything.
dating a 4-year-old? What are you talking
Finding
about?
Nemo came out in 2003, you dipshit. I mean, what are you
My young child girlfriend loves Oreos and Finding
I
Nemo.
love Oreos. I'm more of a Monsters Inc. guy. Damn it. Just because you don't watch animated movies, Jonah, doesn't mean it's not art for some people.
Okay. Yeah, my girlfriend loves Oreos. And she
Oreos
loves
are
animated
fucking good,
stuff.
Jonah, and you could suck.
Right.
It. Don't act like Oreos are good.
Curfew's 8 p.m. and
These are just fun facts that I need to know.
yeah. So what's your green light,
Oh, I like
Austin?
sorry, let me pull up my notes app. If they beat me in a game.
Oh,
So I'm like super big into like a lot of my first dates revolve around a game of some kind because
Okay.
I like to see because I then can see someone's competitiveness and like how they treat something like that. Because I like board games and I have a dartboard. I like bowling. I like all these things. So like I like playing darts on a first date a lot. Especially if they beat me and they're really like, well, I beat you.
yeah, like talking shit to
I'm
you.
like, okay,
Yeah.
it's on now. I'm like,
Yeah.
this will now be a saga now for a while now. And I don't know, something about it I like.
Yeah, and you're
I
building like a constant.
Well, I also like that
experience
they're like, even if they don't like darts that much or whatever game we're playing, but they actually try to
Yeah.
play the game. I'm like, oh, so you're actually going to try the things I like to do. And not only that, but it's fun for me. Like you're actually going to make it fun instead of just being like, I'll just play this because you like it.
Yeah.
I hate that. Don't
Yeah.
you ever fucking play, oh, you like it. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just play with
that
myself.
you hitting
then.
them?
No, that's me going like this.
Okay.
I'm slapping myself. It did look like that. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you home to your mom.
No, but like it's a really specific thing. But if they like, have fun with the game that we're playing, if
Yeah.
there is a game involved,
And it's
of
like a
any
bond.
kind,
You're creating a bond.
yeah,
together.
or whatever. Like if we're playing a little trivia, I don't know what is a good.
Yeah.
Darts is probably the best example, but it's like that's cool. It's
Yeah.
just, to me that's just attractive. But
I
then
like that.
then that will lead to like being like, all right, well, I'm gonna remember this,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna come back. We're circle after this in a couple dates, and then we'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good. I like that.
I would never play darts with a guy on a first date.
Really?
I'm way too fucking competitive.
Oh, but that's
And-
like
and
but
I-
he's
that's
just saying
what-
that's a
no,
turn
that's
on.
it,
That's
and I'm
good.
That's a
saying,
turn on for me.
Not only am I competitive, I'm bad at most bar sports. That like shooting pool or playing darts, I'm really bad at. So then people are like, "Let's just play." I'm like, I can't lose. no. I'll
Deanna's
lose.
seething in the corner.
Yeah,
And
right.
that would be worse for you to see this side of me so quickly.
Right.
Of
Yeah.
me snapping a pool stick.
That'd be awesome.
This fucking sucks.
This is your fucking fault.
Yeah.
Why don't you take your chain and shove it up your ass?
Yeah, that's a little too much.
See, what I love for a green light for a second date is if we bond over talking shit about maybe another couple that's around there. Like if you're just like you think that's the first date too, and you're like, what do you think they're fucking
Oh,
talking
that is
about?
good. You do love that though.
I love that because then you're bonding about the world around you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if they're okay with being like, and then I bet you they're like this, like where you're
Yeah.
yes-anding me. Oh,
What
daddies.
if they're like, why would you ever think that?
I would probably be like, well, then, I do think I'm getting the fuck out of here right now because guess what? This date is done, daddy.
Okay.
Daddy, I don't know. I have a daddy, but
Oh my god! Whoa.
no, but it's like so. I
Jonah
just,
said,
I also
when they call
just
you daddy,
love
it's
talking
like-
shit. So, and if someone else is having fun with me,
Yeah.
and they can kind of go with it and know that I'm not being serious. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to have fun.
Okay.
Have a good shit talking.
Interesting. Shit talking.
Deanna hates all of
I
you.
know.
Deanna,
No, I'll
Deanna-
talk shit. I talk
Deanna
shit, but I'm
hates
just thinking
all of
immediately,
this.
like, if I started talking shit on a date, they'd be like, why would you ever say that?
You're just going out the wrong guys. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
what is?
No.
Well, how about, do you like talking? You mean you like talking shit?
I love talking shit.
Yeah.
What
It's
if
my
the
favorite
guy
thing to
was like
do.
that? What if let's say you're on a date and then they were just like, you're just like, you see these fucking people over here? Or did you see that guy that walked in? What the hell is he wearing?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be one of mine. I have other ones, but I really think that I do that. So
Yeah.
maybe that is something.
It's fun.
That,
It's a
I
fun
don't know.
bond.
I think like I don't know, because in my head I'm like immediately like I'm like, yeah, let's talk shit. But then I also want to be perceived as like the nice person that I'm like, hey, I don't know.
but yeah, but you are a shit talker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't want them to know that just yet.
But like then they find out when if they don't like it and you just wasted a week.
Then I've wasted a week.
Oh,
I think then I've wasted a week. Yeah.
Really?
And I never got with a guy in the same week.
I
but-
kind of gave up on
Oh, sorry.
I gave up on having a persona that I feel like somebody wants to hear.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, I'm going to be me right away. So like, if you don't like it, then that's good. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I can finally date Austin. And that's all I really want, right?
No, I really find that I think we should just date. John.
Yeah, I
I
think-
think
I
that's
think
what
it
it
would
is.
make
And
a
then
lot
Deanna
of
will
sense.
hate our relationship. She'll hate
No, I'll be
everything
so
we
happy
do.
for you guys. I won't be on the dates. You guys can talk shit and play darts.
Oh, that sounds fun though. Just shit talking darts.
And then we're
sounds cool.
shit talking like, what's with that girl that she's broke
Yeah,
that pool
she's
stick?
being real
What is
mean.
going on?
And I'm watching you angrily in the corner.
Yeah, she's throwing
They
We
seem
all
like they're
know-
having fun.
In this situation, we all know each other, but I refuse to talk to you guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
just slamming shuffleboard
Never gonna
things.
flip
No,
it.
have fun, you two, you freaks.
All right, what's number 3 on your list?
Let's see. Number 3, I would say, man, isn't it bleak that I'm just like, they're so basic of like,
It's a little.
Some
sad.
people don't
Yeah.
know though. That's the thing is like
Yeah.
it feels basic,
Well,
but some
these
people
guys
are like,
don't
know,
oh,
clearly.
Right, exactly.
I would say like planning, talking about like what we're going to do next in the date. Like
Okay.
I've gone out with someone before where they're like, oh, I talk about this restaurant or this cocktail bar and they're like, we should go there.
Nice.
Well, let's go there. When are you free next? Like doing that, I think that's
Instead of being like, would you be up for going?
it's just like and the thing is that we're already going.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done that. There was one guy I was driving. We were going to a bar and I was like, oh, that cocktail bar is really great, whatever. And he's like, we should go. And I was like, it's impossible to get a reservation. He's like, I'll get a reservation. I was like, okay. I'd like to see
And you're like, boop,
one.
You pulled out
One,
a
I'd
gun.
like to see you try. And 2, if you do, we can go because it's really hard to get a reservation. But yeah, I think,
did he get it?
no, I told him that I don't want to see him again.
He's like, you're delusional.
no,
if you think
this was other things. We went
Okay.
on like 2 dates and then he was like, I shouldn't even bring this up.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
not worth it. I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
It's not. He was a nice guy. I just didn't really see it going
Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah. I think that and also, okay, I'm already ready for number 4, but that's number 3. Planning
Okay.
stuff, being excited about like we're gonna go do
just
this.
confidently like this is going to continue.
Yes. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And like
Right.
reading the idea that you are into it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Just without even don't give me an option.
Right.
I'm gonna write down number 4 before
yeah.
I forget.
Austin, what's your 3?
Mine's a little like really not healthy for me. But if we're talking, because eventually movies will come up, because that's like
Right.
kind of
I love movies.
yeah, this is
Right.
what I do per se. And if I bring it up and I like bring up like they ask stuff, and at some point in that first day, if they're like, yo, well, we should watch like Magnolia, or we should watch, but whatever, we'll do it. Even if I don't want to see you again. I've done this many times where I'm like, I don't really want to see this girl again, but
I
she
really
wants to
wanna
watch
watch
Magnolia, so I gotta watch Magnolia. Like like I've done that so
At least
many.
I get to watch a movie.
yeah, I just get to watch them
Yeah.
because I like rewatching movies, but like I like rewatching movies with people.
Yeah.
If I keep rewatching a movie alone, I'm like, what is wrong with me? What's happening? Why can't someone watch this with me?
So you'd rather watch it with somebody that you hate
Yeah.
being around?
Well, you'd have to talk during the movie.
I don't understand. Movies should be like at least you're dating for a month thing.
Really?
Yeah.
A
Wow,
month? You're
okay.
fucking
Not
crazy,
Not a month,
dude.
but like a couple
Like
dates.
movie at your house or movie going to the movie theater?
Go to the movie theater.
Oh, okay.
I think going to the movie theater is just a bad fucking date in general.
It's a bad date in general.
You can't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
Unless
And
you're
if
gonna watch
you
a
do
Palestine
something-
documentary. Did you
Yeah.
learn a lot during that?
It was like at the University of Chicago, and it was like we went, and there was
getting
just
worse.
I drove all the way to Hyde Park.
Oh,
And
no.
there was like 4 different documentaries at once. So it was like each one was maybe like 20 minutes long. And they were just obviously
documentaries?
all the money went to support people in Palestine, which I support. And I'm happy that I was able to give money to do this. But I was just like, dude, this date should have been easy for you. You go to a restaurant, go see a movie, and the ways in which you fucked it up so massively. And I kind of felt like a test to be like, do you like this or do you not? And it's like, okay, on a first date, this is crazy to like
Right.
show me this. And
What's your stance on this?
exactly, that's
Yeah.
what it felt like. And then the documentaries were it was very informative to watch, I'll say, but not on a first date. I had to like watch a goat get its like throat slit open. I'm like watching
my
it through my
God.
fucking hands. Like it was bleak. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's very bleak. The whole situation is dark and fucked
Yeah.
up, and the documentaries really reflected that. And I was just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. And he's like, how
here?
you doing? And you're like, I'm horny as shit.
Literally.
right
Yeah, I was
now."
about to say that.
dude,
Yeah.
it would have like that meal, even if you were like a fuck up, to then it would have been kind of easy for you to like at least get like a kiss outside the car. And it just, you really fucked it up every step of the way. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy.
The pointing at you with chicken makes more sense than anything now.
Oh yeah.
That's such like a luxury. Like, oh, you don't even fucking understand.
Yeah.
You don't understand what's going on.
It's insane. What really got, what
And
really
another
got-
thing. And another thing.
And don't you and don't ever give me a second to speak, because that was exactly, he was just like blah, 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 blah. I was like, Jesus, dude,
oh my God.
come up for air, I'm begging you. But
It's my 3.
Yeah.
I will say, watching a movie, like, okay, coming to someone's house and being like, okay, this I really like, we're gonna watch this movie now, is very fun. I did a movie night once. It was like, you brought your favorite movie and then I brought my favorite movie.
Oh, that's fun.
That was
That's
fun.
like, hey, this. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
I like
Well,
that.
my favorite movie was Stardust. Have you guys seen Stardust?
No, I want to. With
so
Matthew Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that movie. 2007.
You like Stardust?
You
What was
have you
his?
seen
What was his
Stardust?
favorite? No, I know about it, but what was his favorite? What was
Wait,
his
it's
favorite?
right up my fucking alley. Are you kidding me? Like,
Wait, that's the one he showed you?
that's the one that I showed him.
Yeah, but what's the one he showed you?
Lady Snowblood.
What the fuck?
It's the movie
Is it a
that
samurai
Kill
movie?
Bill was based
yeah.
on.
Oh, I feel lame that I
It
knew
was
it now.
honestly pretty good.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
good. and
that's
it
fun.
Was, it was
I asked what it was and I knew it. And I feel really lame now. That was really embarrassing.
It was subtitles, and it was really good. And then
Nice.
they made a second one, and so we watched the second one at a later date, and I was just like, I can't follow this shit at all. And then it was like the same deal where I was like, and then I'll show you a movie, and then I chose Peter Rabbit, and it was really
Oh, another Gleason.
yeah.
You like the
I
Glees?
love Donald Gleason.
He's
I
in
do
that
love
new
him.
The Office reboot they announced today.
Oh, really?
Called The Paper.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wait, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So I went on a date with somebody, and I don't think it was a first. I think it might have been a second, but it was a nice girl. Like, I think her and I are still cool. We're still nice. The date was to watch a movie on Netflix called 365 Days.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, that
Oh,
was the
no.
date, and I was
no.
and I walked into it knowing I'm like, this is like porn. It's a
Yeah.
porn movie. It's,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
yeah, but I
it's
mean,
a very graphic.
looks
movie.
like a commercial. It looks horrible. It's so badly. I
Yeah.
was seething. Anyway, but I was like into it because I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. This is new. I've never done this. So we like watch it though, and she's like really actively like, look at this. This is awesome. Like pointing at the fucking television and like
Yeah.
jumping, like not jumping. That sounds bad. No, she was just like sitting on the end of the couch, like pointing at the TV because that's how it was angled.
And she
Yeah.
had already.
And I
seen
was
the movie.
laying back, just like watching, me, like,
God.
okay, and like intently actually engaging with it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is bad, but I see your passion.
Yeah.
And then we didn't like do anything. And I was like, I feel like I'm not in the wrong for assuming we're gonna do something because I went
Yeah.
and came and watched porn at your place.
You're horned up for Michelle Maroney, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
Are you gonna fuck?
I'm like, it seems like you were like,
She's like, isn't this beautiful?
yeah,
You're
like this is your way of getting into the mood, and then you're like, now I want to fuck, and I'm like, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with that, but also like, what do we do? And then we watched the second one, and then I was
Which
like,
is even more hornier.
yeah, it was
That's
yeah, it was,
crazy.
right off the bat it was.
Yeah.
There's like a blowjob scene that's insane.
Yeah.
But
Isn't that the one with the golfing scene?
yes, yeah, yeah. But
Grow up.
like it's an insane.
So stupid.
I've never even heard of this.
It's
know.
like 50 Shades of Grey times 100,
Oh,
and it's like
God.
Because
Netflix's
it's on
answer
Netflix.
to it.
Okay.
And not that Netflix needed it. It's so horny, and it's just like,
Interesting.
what if this millionaire, like, right? What if this like super rich guy
Yeah.
had a sexy girlfriend?
There's
What
no
if?
plot. There's no plot.
Yeah.
But like, and
That
like
was
I
probably
wasn't
one
like
of
mad.
them.
I wasn't. I didn't like. But I did kind of like be like, because it got to the end of like our like time hanging out. I'm like, so are we actually not going to do? I literally was like baffled. I'm like, we're
So
actually
I'm
not
gonna go.
She's like,
this whole fucking
time for me to go to bed.
this whole fucking hour and a half, I've been like gearing up, like, okay,
Yeah.
like apparently she
Here we
likes
go.
this because she's showing me this and
Oh,
she's getting really
God.
excited about this shit. So I was like, okay, I got to do that. I felt like I was getting a lesson on how to fuck her, and then
I have to put a golf ball into her pussy. What the fuck?
yeah,
That's part of
That's
it.
in the movie?
Yes.
Oh my God, this
Like,
is amazing.
she was showing
Can we
me
watch it right now?
she was showing me shit, and I was like, I have to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you don't show a random guy this to be like, what?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lesson. And then
And she's doing the thing that we were talking about earlier where she keeps looking at you, seeing if you like it. Or
I
she's
guess-
like, see that?
Do you get
part
it?
of me
that?
thinks that
Do you
if
get
I
it?
just stood up and just did what the guy did in the movie, I guess, then
Yeah.
something would have happened. But I'm like,
God.
that guy's like I didn't want to act like a fucking psychopath
Yeah.
on the like. So I just want to reassure that I was like not crazy for assuming like we're gonna do
Yeah.
something,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long
That's crazy.
Yeah, I watched
That
the
movie is insane.
I watched the third one on my own so I can complete the trilogy.
Because you're really into the
Yeah, I
story.
was really like, I might as well finish
Point,
it.
You're
You're like,
invested
I mean,
in
listen,
it.
like, I'm into the story. It's
I've
pretty
seen
good.
2 out of 3. Might as well close
I
the
might as well
gap.
close it. And I'm like, man, sitting there thinking, man, didn't fuck. I had to watch these 2 movies. And I'm like, I didn't feel like I'm not a guy that's like, well, you need to fuck me now. But I was like, I feel like she was like, well, you
Yeah.
need to fuck me now. And I'm like, well, nothing happened.
And now you're a fan of the movies, though, right?
yeah, I'm actively looking for the next one. They're doing a spinoff.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Will
I
you
love
write
it.
fan fiction for that?
Jonah, why you always trying to make me, you were like, come on the podcast. Let me make you look bad.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you shit.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right, cool.
No, I'm
God.
just giving you shit.
We would have a
boys,
great first
kiss.
date.
Get over
I
it.
love you.
Love you too.
Sorry. Okay, it's
Okay.
your turn now.
Well,
Sorry, I derailed this whole thing.
you know
So
what?
sorry.
If you're willing to tell me,
You know what?
Because you're at my you're to the right of me and he's behind me. So
Okay.
it's like
is true.
if you tell me an embarrassing story that happened to you,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like
Yeah.
if you are confident enough to look stupid,
Yes.
then that is
Yeah.
like fuck yeah. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to be like, oh, I'm pretending to be this perfect person. You're just like, you know what? I shit my pants like
Yeah.
a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
the craziest thing happened to me the other day.
Yeah. Tell me the story. Because then also I get to see how you react in that story, right? So you get an idea of what and how you tell the story,
Yeah.
and then like, your emotions behind it, which is
Yeah.
like pretty good.
But if a girl was on a first date with you and she was like, "I shit my pants last week," would you be like, "You son of a bitch, we got to go out again"?
100%.
Because that okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
No,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Why is that wild?
Because
You just burped,
Yeah.
so that's fine. I don't care.
you're not trying to fuck me.
Well, it's true, but if you're just
That's
like
so fast.
if you're just
That was
wait,
that was almost
okay.
insulting.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jonah, we have a guest.
Okay,
be
okay,
nice,
fine.
Be a little
fine.
nice.
Can you fake
No.
can you fake burp again? I mean, you just burped.
Yeah. But you're not trying to fuck me.
I mean,
Oh
no,
my god.
no.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that better?
That was actually really good acting, actually, Jonah.
Oh.
But no, it's like no. If
We
you
can
tell
cut
me a
the burp
story
out.
where
We can
like
cut
if
the
you
burp
tell
out
me
in
a
post.
crazy, what's that?
I said we're cutting the burp out in post.
Okay, sure, okay, yeah, because we post
Or
things.
or put it in an even bigger, louder.
let's
burp.
add one. No, if you are willing to be like, because everybody has a story like that.
A burp is way less incriminating than shitting your pants.
People shit their pants.
By the fucking way,
People shit
dear bitch number 1.
Oh, or tell me a story. You know, I also this is a 1 and 2 thing. It's that, or if you gossip about your friends to me. Like I am,
yeah.
I'm all about if you're willing to like.
That's juicy.
If you tell me a friend about your friend shitting their pants, you tell me a story about your
Okay.
friend shitting their pants.
Someone's
your
got to be
pants.
shitting their pants in the store
Or like-
for Jonah to
or
even
if
consider.
you're
So
telling me-
into the girl shitting her pants, but he completely
Listen,
is obsessed with
also,
the woman
this-
not
it's
shitting
cold
with the door
scatting,
open.
I like it.
This guy also brought up the shitting the pants
Really? That's
scenario
what I'm saying,
earlier.
yes.
He's just there's so much shitting the pants with Jonah.
You don't want to see a woman shit with the door open, but if she's shitting in her pants, you're on
No,
board.
but
You're like, give it to me again.
Okay, first
You
off, first
sicko.
off, we are really focusing on a hypothetical right now.
You
that
brought it up.
I was just saying, you guys.
You brought it up twice.
The
now, Jonah.
point of the story is that if you tell me an embarrassing story about yourself, that's funny, and then you can laugh. If you can laugh at yourself, second date.
Okay. Fine.
Really?
No.
See,
Is this
Deanna
the
hates
problem
all
I'm
of
having?
what we have been saying this whole
No,
time.
I liked some of them.
It's really
No, because you know
funny.
why? Because it goes against all that you thought you were taught in first dates. Because
Yeah,
because
you need to
because
be
of
talking about
fucking
shitting your
dumbass
pants, yeah.
stereotypes
I
that
guess.
that these idiot men come on these dates and then because they're pieces of shit, they think like, oh, girls can't be funny or girls can't be gross or girls can't do this, and then they just like have horrible relationships, and then they end up fucking up their kids later, and then they get divorced at 50, and then they can't find anyone else, so they start dating a 20-year-old because that's all they have. Right? Right, guys?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That I'm telling you.
I know, Jonah. Calm down.
Yeah.
We need to change
Hurry.
that. We need to
Tell
change.
me a story about shitting your pants. Hurry.
All right,
Calm
quick,
them down.
quick.
Tell me what color it was. Tell me how it felt in between your
Did
cheeks.
you have to
Psychopath.
change?
No.
Was it pancaked out?
Oh my God.
What, did it go down your leg?
Dana
Wait,
loves this.
I'm gonna throw up with the door open.
Oh, nice.
Okay, mine was something like yours.
When it was peeing your pants.
Was that like kind of same, like, okay, if you're like gonna roast me a little bit,
Okay,
like,
give you shit.
nice roasting, not what we were talking about earlier, where your uncle says like a really cruel thing to you.
Yeah.
But like nice, like a little bit of like going, if you can like go back and forth with like a little
Yeah.
sassiness, you
Yeah.
know, like I
Kinda
like
flirty,
that.
a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
a little flirty. I was out on a date and this guy was like, I want to get better at flirting. And I was like, okay, well, like do a flirt to me, like flirt on me. And he was like, no, it'd be too uncomfortable. And I was like, no, it's not. I'll flirt to you. And then we started and it was like, I like said something and then he was like, this is very aggressive. And I was like, this is normal flirting. He was like, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it is. But I do feel like going, like being able to have like a back and forth that's not just like the typical, you know,
I mean,
pleasantries.
even that story, I was rooting for you two to make it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Good,
Because it is that kind of like, I want to flirt. Like, that's not flirt. That's too rough. Like, no, it's not. Like, he's negging you.
Yeah.
He's flirting with
no,
you.
I do think that I did hurt his feelings. Because he said something. It was like, he said something and then he was like, oh, that's funny. And I was like, I've been thinking about doing stand-up. No, I said, oh, I do stand-up. Because that's my other thing. Whenever normal guys who don't know that I
Civilians.
do. Yeah. Normies talk to me at a bar and I'll say something and they go, that was funny. And I go, oh, really? And they go, yeah, you're kind of funny. And I go, I was thinking about doing stand-up. And it's the cruelest. I know it's mean.
And then they find out that you are a stand-up. They're like,
They never
"What
find
bitch?"
out. They never find
hell?
out. So they go,
That
I
was
go,
fast.
you should do, because no, I never tell them because I don't want them thinking that like they've encouraged it. So I go, I was thinking about doing stand-up. And they go, you should. And I go, no, that'd be crazy. And they're like, I want to do stand-up too. And I was like, you should. Like, I think it's the funniest thing. I know it's cruel. Do not come at me. But I think it's so funny for them to be like, you should do stand-up. And I go, that's so crazy. That would be insane.
It's just so nerve-wracking. And then he's like, I do stand-up.
I could
And you're like, you
never.
do you?
Well, I've also been at a bar talking to some random person and they go, I actually do comedy. And I go, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
And in my head, I you know, kind of had like the two roads of like, do I really call this person? When someone
Right.
that says I do stand up in Chicago, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
And in my head, I kind of just, I'm like, at that specific time, I was like, I'm not going to appease this guy. So I was just like, oh yeah, me too. I do stand up as well in Chicago. And they go, where? And I'm just like, here, and here. And then this guy was like, oh, I know who you are. Like it kind of clicked of like, he's like, and what's your name? I was like, Deanna. And he's like, oh, I know who you are. And I was like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But, because also this was like an open mic. Not that there's anything bad about doing open mics.
We
but
love
it was
'em.
truly, I was like, you know, we were like at a venue where there was a show that was happening. And I was like, are you on the show? And he's like, no, maybe one day. And I was like, okay. All right. Cruel and being so mean. But we were talking, in this like back and forth of like pretend flirting. I said, I do stand up. And he said, oh, tell me a joke. And I said, well, there's a 2-drink minimum to hear my jokes. And at that point we had already had 2 drinks and he was kind of like, I already bought these. I was like, we're in the game. We're playing a game. And he's like, oh yeah. It was so funny. It was
See,
so
that's
funny.
a fun like moment.
But he was being for real.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but we're in the middle of a roll. And he's like, okay, yeah. He's
Clock
like,
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, honey, there's a 2-drink minimum to come to my shows. And
Yeah.
he's blah, blah, blah.
He's like, we already. You're like,
Yeah, he's like,
oh,
"Wait, do
honey,
you want-"
thank God
he was
you're
like, do you want
cute.
another one? And I was
Yeah.
just like, no. But I do want a shot now. So we got a shot. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll tell you a joke. But yeah, that I think like to go back and forth is very fun.
And they're not afraid to like give you a little.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm gonna give you shit, you should be able to give me shit. But it has to be the fine line of like we're still flirty because it can go a little bit bad.
Right.
Like some guy, he said something. I was driving him back to his place, and he's something like, "Oh, that's like the Puerto Rican came out," and I was like, "You don't even fucking know." I was like, "I didn't."
He said that about you?
Yeah, he didn't
Oh,
say
no.
this. He didn't. I didn't say this to him, but I was just like, "Haha, yeah," and I was like, "Dude, you could have had it."
Yeah, you're
You
right there.
coulda.
You were right
You're
there.
right there.
You're right there. You're at the finish line.
Because also it's like I don't have road rage because I'm Puerto Rican. I have road rage because I'm a psychopath. Because I am a como se dice bad driver. That comes across any nationalities. But yeah, like that kind of shit. I think he was just like kind of like roasting me a little bit, and I was like, "There's the line," and I feel bad for him because he didn't know that was the line. But for me, that was the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to him again?
Yeah, when I told him I didn't want to see him again.
Oh hell yeah,
Oh.
nice.
Nice. I like that. Was a great answer.
What's yours next, Austin?
Mine is I like to. I have a very firm stance on this rule. You'll get a second date if you not. I'm trying to word this where I don't sound bad, but like I like it when someone when you end a date and you get a little kiss, just a kiss.
He's defending. Just a kiss. Just a kiss.
Just a kiss. Yeah. No, literally just a kiss. No,
You were looking at me like you're gonna be like just a kiss, just a kiss.
Yeah.
Just the tip of the kiss.
Just a kiss.
Lean in.
Just a kiss.
You go 90, I go 10.
Yeah,
You don't go full 100.
Just a kiss.
What movie's that?
What movie is
Hitch.
that? Okay, good.
Wow, that was awesome.
That's a very recognizable.
Line?
Yes.
What
You're mad at me that I got that right. You're mad at me because I got yours
mad
wrong.
At how happy he was that you got it. I was
Yeah.
like, we all got it.
Because
movie's
he's
not-
young enough where that movie seems like ancient.
Out of all, no,
I saw it in the theater.
Out of all Will
did?
Smith
Yeah.
movies, that's not even a top 10.
Shut
No,
you
but that,
shut your
that
mouth.
back and forth is iconic.
Yeah, that's in the trailer for the Spider-Man 2 disc. That's why I know it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, with Stevie Wonder playing in the back.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, a kiss because I like one that when you end a date with a kiss or whatever, it is kind of that is basically like. Well, we're gonna see again. So that alone. But two, it is kind of like a tease of like, oh, that was a really good. If it's good. Oh, that was a really good kiss. Oh, next time we can kiss more, and that's great. I'm thinking like high school me. That's what the idea was. But there was a lot of times that I'd watch, not myself, but I'd watch but I'd hear other people's dates crumbling because they were very firm on you don't kiss on the first date, and the date would fucking crumble.
Yeah.
Because they would they both clearly wanted to, but they were both abiding by this moral compass that someone
Who made these rules? Yeah, somebody.
Yeah,
made these rules.
and then they have like a meltdown, and I don't know. I've seen it crumble, and I'm like, no. If you give me a kiss, that's a clear indicator. We're gonna set up that second date, and we'll kiss some more. That's great news.
Kiss at the end of the date or kiss in the middle of the date?
Ooh, either way.
Kiss in the middle of the date seems crazy to me. Of a
That's
first
crazy.
Date, I've had a guy lean over and grab my face and kiss me, and I was just like, "I'll kill you."
Oh, well, that's a little.
It was wild.
Like
we were
right
having
away?
A nice time. No. We were having a nice time, and like we were drinking, and like we were having a good time, whatever. And then I said, I think it was something as stupid as like, I like to drink shots of Malort, and he was just like, bleh. And I was like, "Oh, dude."
He was a guy. He was waiting. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna wait for her to say something.
Incredible.
He like baby birds Malort in your mouth.
Honestly, that would have been better. No, but yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like, ew. Here in this bar in front of all these strangers? Ugh. But
What a weird thing to say that someone's like, oh, she wants me to make out there.
I think it was like he couldn't control how attracted he was to me.
Because of the Malort thing?
He was like, that's it. I found the perfect girl.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
here. She drinks shots of Malort. Exactly.
To me, it was like
And grab your face, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
to
think
me-
he thought he was being, he thought that he was like, this is the time.
No,
Now.
he was waiting. He was waiting for you to
Yeah.
say something, and he's
Yeah,
like,
to be like,
and
okay, come here, you simple woman.
come here.
You drunk bitch, I need to kiss. I was like, the right answer in that moment is to buy me a shot of Malort. But anyway.
Yeah.
But like a kiss during the middle of the date, also I guess is like. Then you said that, now I'm thinking like if it happens during the middle of a date, then I'm like, okay, so, is this a fucking date now? Because like then that's
Yeah.
if there's still like a good couple hours of activities or whatever left, I'm
Yeah.
like, well, do we ignore what just happened? Do we
Yeah.
keep doing what's happened, or
Yeah.
does it evolve into something else? So that is like, then is the date just becoming a one-time thing? Now there's a lot of things happening because I'm like, well, no, I was enjoying this, so like I can wait until the next day. We don't have to fuck. I'll say yeah, but like, if that's just that, then you just let me know that. But now
Yeah.
this kiss and no explanation, like, do I kiss you again? When do
Yeah.
like it does become a little bit of a
That's
of a
his point.
tedious thing.
Because there's so much left to the date. It's like, what
Right.
do we talk about this?
We're
Are
supposed
we
to
going?
fuck now?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
A goodbye kiss is nice.
Yeah.
I'll do like if we like hug goodbye and we're having a good time and go, I feel like we should probably kiss. We just
Oh,
probably
nice.
should. And
That's
they go,
great.
and they go, yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I like that when a
It's
girl's more
exciting.
aggressive, too. Because like,
If we're not gonna kiss, because like no one's really sure in that moment, I'm just like, we should probably just
do it, yeah.
just do one. What's the worst that could happen? You have a great time.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I go,
nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You
consent.
guys like that.
Good consent
It's
also.
simple.
Oh, I mean,
It's
like,
fun.
like Laura and I's first date, she just looked at me. She's
Laura,
like,
your girlfriend?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She looked
Your
at,
funny, successful girlfriend?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Just so
Yeah,
we're on
yeah.
the same page.
The next
I just
Bill
wanna-
Cosby?
I just want to know.
Bill
Whoa.
Cosby.
In the comedy sense. Calm down.
Even that. Whoa. What are we doing?
Well, she got to get a TV
I
show.
think she's straight edge. What are we doing here?
I was hoping for success. I think
No, but she was like, we were getting
The
drunk.
next Joe Rogan.
Well, that's
Oh, yes, that's better.
speaking of the flirty thing, is like we were like getting drunk and the confident thing. We were like getting drunk, and then she just looks at me and she's just like, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna make out later." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
That's
and
it.
she's
I
like,
love
"She's
it.
like,
Hell
don't-
That's so Laura.
Jonah,
Yeah.
you definitely said hell yeah, brother.
I was like, I think she said we're making out later, and I was like, yeah, of course we are. And then she's like, okay, I just want to let you know that. And I was like, all right.
That's
And then we just
great.
continued with
I
the
love
date.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
we're just
so
like,
you know.
yeah, just know we're gonna make out later.
Yeah,
You're like,
that's so
fuck
funny.
yeah. Then you get all excited. You're like, I can't wait. Let's end this date now.
I love her. That's so great.
No, that is
That's a
good.
good
That's
one.
That's a fun like a,
Yeah.
right, which I like. My thing that goes on with that, we'll do my last thing is not afraid to get drunk with me.
Yeah.
Of course.
I
That's
hate
a must-have
That's
for
a
Jonah.
that's a must for me.
Yes, me too.
You know what? Yes,
You gotta.
you know why? Because you start seeing who they really are.
Yeah.
And then the whole like facade of having to be perfect and prissy and all this stuff drops, and then you start laughing more. You like share more, and that's why I never do dinner dates.
On a first date, I never do dinner.
It's always drinks.
Yeah.
It's always drinks.
Always,
And it's
yeah.
not a date. It's drinks.
Yeah.
It's never a date. It's
I
drinks.
want to have a heart out, and also it's like, let's just go. Let's
Right.
just see what, because then you can have like one, you can have two, or you could just be like, let's go to another bar.
Yeah.
Like, if you're having a good time,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't feel like it's so open ended because you don't have to like. I mean, when your meal's done, it's done. You know what I mean? Like, and then you kind of like, do we go to another place? Do we not? When you're just having drinks, you kind of like you lose track of time.
Yeah.
But also you lose track of time because you're having so much fun.
Yeah.
Because there's no pressure, and then you don't have to be in your head about what you're eating. Do you know what I mean? And also
yeah.
like,
Or what you're saying, yeah.
yeah. And then the fact that you get like don't get like hammered, but like just get a little drunk with me first date. It's always like the
Yeah.
best dates are always the ones where you're like, I got a little too drunk.
You know,
last
I
night.
like to go, like, we'll go to like a classy like cocktail bar, and then the second bar is always like the dive.
Same.
Yeah. It's like,
Same.
okay, let's go to like, you know, I love Victor Bar. That place is awesome
Oh,
on
that place is great.
Damon, Lincoln, and Irving. And then you go to like a real dive bar.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in Chicago. You're not going to
Yeah.
not find a dive bar.
When I was in my
But-
20s, I would go. We would have like a nice like our friend of ours, Nate Burrows, he's a bartender at this bar, and then it was like a nice cocktail bar.
Yeah.
And I would always take my first dates there because then I could ask Nate when they go to the bathroom, like, is this so cute? What's going on here? And then it was like then we
Because you
go.
couldn't tell on your own.
No, because I need reassurance that I'm right. Okay, no.
And then
Do you
he's
know
like,
me?
do I look cute? And he's like, yeah.
Do you
sure.
know
Am I
me?
cute? What do you think?
any of you know me at all?
Yeah.
But then we would go. I would always take him to Diversity Rock and Bowl here in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna go bowling." I go, "No. If you're gonna hang out with me, we're gonna drink at the
At the fucking, the diviest.
diviest of dive bars."
It's you and a bunch of bar flies.
I know.
Yeah.
Just because it's just kind of like, look what we're doing. This is fun.
Golly.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even, you can't even bowl. Just
No.
gonna go and sit. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, but they also, because they have all, I know, kind of going what Austin's talking about. At the time, they had pool, they had darts, they
Yeah.
had nudie photo hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
have
what
high
that
scores upstairs, baby.
Oh, we'll play some nudie photo hunt tonight.
What is it?
Nudie photo hunt.
It's like they show two pictures.
It's like a
and
what's the
something's
difference
wrong
game,
with the
but
other
with
picture.
boobs.
But it's like
And dick. They have a
pussies.
dick one too.
Oh, and it's a.
You're like, this ball's bigger than the other ball, but
It's
then
like a game.
it's
Yeah, it's
game.
like two pictures and like the drapes might be missing from this
Okay.
picture.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that it's like a porn picture, so it's like supposed to be distracting.
Is it like
Yeah.
a whole thing? Like is
There's,
it
a
a
touch-
there's
touchscreen
two
thing,
separate
yeah.
Oh, it's
pictures.
touchscreen.
It's
Got it.
touchscreen. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's
Yes,
what I'm
touchscreen.
trying to-
Yeah,
Excuse
it's
me.
like you
Yeah.
used to put like coins in it and play
Got it.
at
Okay.
the bar. Yeah.
Mhm. And that's like that to me. That's the best first date is
Okay, that's
that,
fun.
and that's what's great about, not to bring up Laura again, but Laura and I kind of bonded over texting about that, and then she
Yeah.
called the place that we were going to go to make sure that they had a nudie photo hunt.
She's proactive.
Oh,
I know.
We love that.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
cracked. You don't
That's
like
good.
the dinner? I kind
I
of like the
hate it.
dinner on a first date.
No, because I get weird about like, am I eating weird?
Yeah.
And then it's just like I have to be like,
I like that it's timed, I guess.
Well, then I never eat my
Because then by the
food.
time,
Yeah.
like, because, you know, I like asking questions and stuff. And by the time the dinner's over, it's like, they're like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this to end. And
Oh.
of course, you have a backup plan. But I like the idea that there's a timer on that, so like it can never.
that's why I
dull.
like first drinks. I like a bar
Well,
because
to
you
me, the
just
bar,
never, there's no.
You could be there for hours, and at some point there could be ups and downs. But for the dinner,
That's
you
the
have to
ride.
lock in and be
Yeah.
it the whole time. That's why I like that better.
No, I did a first date. We had dinner, and then we were just like, it was a great dinner, really great, fun time. And then we were talking to the bartender because I had said something like, "Oh, this restaurant and the two restaurants alongside of it are all connected." And I was talking to the server, and I was like, "Did I make that up?" And she was like, "No, we actually own the cocktail bar attached to the side, and some people can come in through like this back door." And then he was like, is it still open? And she was like, I'll look. And he's like, if there's 2 spots, can you reserve them for us? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, we were still eating. And he's like, well, we're going to go there afterwards.
Nice.
And I was like,
that's all the things that you like.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was like, yeah, but they have 2 seats for you. And he was like, great, let's go. And I was like, okay, we're going to go.
And you know why I like also hanging at a bar too with a first date? Because if you're sitting actually at the bar and talking, is then because the 2 of you start having conversations with people around you.
I would never.
Never?
No.
Oh, were you just kind of like...
I don't either.
I
Jonah's
was
all
at a
about
bar
this.
and this guy
I'm all
shows
about
up. One,
this.
he was already drunk. I know he was. And we're drinking. And then he goes to the bar to get me another drink and he starts talking to this girl. And I was like,
No, that's bullshit. No, I'm
well,
saying
he was
like
like making small talk. And I was just like, I'll kill you.
I meant like as okay, so
Simply.
hypothetically, you and I go on a first date together, like first drinks. Then it's like you and I, as a couple, almost are talking to other people. So we are meeting other people.
Also
so
no.
then I get to see how you interact with them, and then also like how you.
Only with the bartender.
Yes.
I would do that.
Yes.
But not with anybody else sitting around me.
I meant bartender and staff is what I was really
Okay,
talking about.
then yes.
Because that's also a huge thing for me too. Is if you're treating the staff nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, then I'm on board now.
Okay.
I was out just like getting a drink with just a friend casually. I mean, we're like hook up, but he's just my friend. And this lady with this dog come in and he starts talking to the dog. And then she starts talking to us like we're a couple. And I was just like, I don't even know this guy's last name. Like,
Yeah.
We've been hooking up casually and like, do not talk to us like that.
You said that to her?
No, in my head.
That'd been really
She was
funny.
like, do you guys have any animals? And I was just like, well, I don't know fuck about him, but my dog is dead. It was
And then
just
he's
so
like,
weird
check please.
because because most of our interactions are just like, us at the bar together. And like, I know, whatever, we can go back and forth. And then to have somebody else come in and be like, oh, you see us as a couple. Oh God.
Oh, you hate that.
It was interesting. I felt no way. It was just like, oh wait, whoa. It was kind of jarring, I guess, to like snap out of it.
Well, it's kind of nice, like someone's reading that body language that you guys already.
I mean, we were sitting together. He was buying my drinks, but
Yeah, but like you can
Yeah.
tell just
Yeah.
by body language. So that's kind of a nice like they see something there. Do you know what I mean?
neither of us do. But yeah.
Neither does your dog 'cause he's dead. Aw. Austin, what's your? Oh no, Deanna, what's yours? What's your last one?
My last one is a follow up the night of like a let me know when you get home text.
Some people aren't like that.
Oh,
Wow.
I want that. I want the like let me know if it's like I say goodbye and you like get in the car and he's like let me know when you get home. Or like if I go home and then he's just like had a great time tonight, let me know when you get back. Or like had a
Nice.
great time tonight, looking forward to seeing you again.
Great.
It can be that simple. God, I went on a great date with this guy and he never called me again. So we went on a date. We went to 2 dive bars in
Nice.
Andersonville. And then he drove me home. We like made out in his car.
Hell yeah.
And I did not invite him in because it was February 13th and it was the day before Valentine's Day. What am I going to do? I have sex with this guy? And I texted my friends and I said, guys, I hope you realize how brave I am to not invite this like super hot, he was also foreign guy into my home to have sex with me on the day before Valentine's Day.
Right.
I'm a hero. Because we also made plans to hang out again. And he sent me a text and he said something like, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, had a great time tonight. Looking forward to the next one. And I enjoyed like he said sneaky snog session. And I was like, I'm dying. I'm dying. It was so hot. Never saw him again.
Oh no.
I know he canceled. And then I see him on the apps every once in a while. And I'm just like, just tell me what I did.
Yeah, what did I
Like,
do
tell me
wrong
what
here?
I did wrong. But yeah.
He's like, you told me a story about you shitting your pants.
I would never, ever.
And I met
but-
this guy who does tell good shit.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be like a big thing of just like and also it doesn't need to have like a response back,
Yeah.
just like had a great time tonight.
Yeah, just think about
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like the next day text, or you want a couple of days after that?
So like we go out and that night he sends me a text and then the next morning he sends me another text.
Yeah.
That would be too much.
That's
If
too
I
much.
didn't respond to him.
What if you waited till the next day being like, hey, I had a really great time. I was thinking about, I
That
woke up
could
thinking
be
about our
it.
date last night. I had a great
Yeah.
time.
I mean, if it was like no text and then he texted
Right.
me the next day, that would be nice too. But I hate the like wait 3 days until you text
Yeah,
them. I'm
yeah.
like, I'll die. No, that's too much.
Right.
Because I'm so in my head of like, why isn't he texting me? Should I
Right.
text him? Is he waiting for me to text him before he texts? So also like if we've made plans of like, we're going to hang out again, like I think sending a text the night of kind of just drops all of that. Like, will they, won't they kind of.
Yeah.
stuff.
Did I do right?
Because also I don't like the games of it of like if they wait an hour before you text, then you wait an hour, of like just answer them, just like, hey, I was thinking about you. I'm sending you this text, and if they're into it, then that's great. And if not, Because I've sent that text before where I've been like, hey, I had a great time. Like, I'd love to see you again. And then be like, didn't really feel it. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Would you rather be ghosted in that moment?
Nope. No,
Really?
I want to know.
You want to know?
I
Okay.
would absolutely want to
Okay.
know. Yes,
Nice.
100%. I will never ask why, but I feel like one guy told me, he was like, I had a nice time meeting you. I don't really think I feel the connection that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I
Fair
took that and I copy and pasted it and I send that shit whenever. I was like, thank you.
Yeah. But you
Jesse,
still, for some reason,
yeah.
he marked it off with his name, and they're like, "Who's Brian?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right. I still copy pasted.
You're like, "Oh, sorry,
Brian,
erase,
sorry.
erase," and then you just edit it so they can see the edit, where it just erases the Brian part.
Sorry, Deanna.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, that I would rather know
Yeah.
than not.
Or they're just like, "Why did you send me a screenshot?" You just screenshotted it.
Yeah,
It's like,
that would be cold and heartless, which I would never do.
all right, Austin, you're up for the last
Oh
one.
God, I don't know. I
You're the
didn't have
last one?
another one.
I think that's good. I think that's all we
Yeah, I
need
didn't really have one, honestly.
that
There's
was
a lot of
perfect.
good things you brought up.
that we brought up. That the
That
three
we
of us
all
brought
brought
up.
up.
That we all
Yeah.
brought up as a group.
You know, we talked a little shit, but I think ultimately, I think if someone listened to this, it's a little longer podcast than we normally
Yeah.
do. But man, a lot of info.
Yeah.
I think people learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I
People
think
know how to date Deanna now.
There we go.
That's very
Yeah.
right. I think collectively, if the three of us got together on a first date with somebody, they'd
Yeah.
marry us.
We
All
would get
three of
married.
us?
All three of us.
Mormon style?
I think
Hang
if we
on.
Wow.
combine,
I think we'd all get married.
I think they'd want to marry us. Like, I think we should combine the three of our. We should go on. Shoot, that's our next thing. Is we take.
Okay.
We go on a date with one person, the three of us,
Yeah, all
and we
together.
film it for content.
Yeah.
for content.
I'd like that.
That just sorry, I touched out of a quote of like there was somebody made a joke once where like we were all sitting together laughing and stuff, and one of my friends at one point went, "You know what? We'd make a hell of an orgy party." And I went, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we'd host a hell of an orgy."
Right.
And I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
He's
and
like,
I
you
thought-
know, and he starts taking his clothes
Like,
off.
yeah, it's just like, do you think you just, hey, we'd have a really good party together? Like, why does that have
No,
to be
I
an
think
orgy?
well, I think we were talking about like past relationships or like there was a reason that the
Yeah.
orgy part was coming. But I'm like, who the fuck says that? So
He's
like,
like-
are we organized? I think
yeah.
about that. So when you said that we'd make a really, I was
Yeah.
like, make a hell of an orgy.
just-
Don't
Hey,
say
guys.
orgy, Jonah. Please don't say orgy.
He's
Yeah.
like, hey guys, like, dude, we'd be really good at fucking each other, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Like, that's what that guy
Yeah,
just.
that
we
is
should
the
go in the
subtext.
bathroom and
That's
fuck.
the same thing. I'd be like, what?
I'm really unhappy.
Yeah, yeah.
What? What are
God,
you
we'd be
talking-
so good at fucking each
I
other.
love that too. Like, we'd plan a really good sex party. Like, oh, me and my dudes, when we get together, we're planning shit. We do it
Yeah.
up.
We send
Yeah.
invitations. I'm
Yeah.
licking the
Yes.
invitations. He's signing the invitations.
Yeah.
We got snacks, but the good kind. We got
snacks.
drinks. Yeah.
We don't got no finger snacks. We only got the forks because that way your fingers can be clean when you're fingering
Wow.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Let me see
attention
those
to
fingernails.
detail.
Let me see those nails.
And we buy masquerade masks for the people who are too lazy to go.
right.
good.
Options. That's good.
We
That's
don't like the
really
word
good.
orgy.
Yeah.
It does sound. It is. I guess it sounds old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like ogre. Well, it's spelled very similarly as well.
It does. sound
Orgy
very-
just seems too like, what is it, the 1920s?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
doing over
a
here?
flapper party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
A little
feels
flapper
very
party?
dated.
Yeah.
Little Gatsby party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not a better word.
I used to call them eyes wide shut parties.
Okay.
That's like worse.
Outside of like what a sex party, which
Sex party.
sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes
Yeah.
wide shut party, yeah.
Eyes wide shut party.
Yeah.
That means like you come with the mask and stuff.
Yeah.
The sex party you could be
And you
anything.
bring Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but eyes wide shut. Tom Cruise has to show up and wander around and be like,
Yeah.
and then get called out.
Yeah.
I just call them human dickipedes.
And that's the podcast.
And that's the podcast,
There
ladies and
was.
gentlemen.
Jonah landed the plane.
I didn't. I crashed it as normal. But we are good. Austin, I wanted to say thank you very much for coming in for Joe.
You're welcome.
Kilgallen.
Of course. Yeah.
Joe, if you're listening, I hope you're feeling better. Hope you're doing better,
He did not
buddy.
listen to this whole damn thing.
No,
You're
this is
great.
one of the longest podcasts. He's
This
gonna be
is
really
the
mad at
longest.
me.
What do you mean one of? This is the longest podcast.
I
Okay.
enjoyed it. I had a great
too.
time. I learned a
enjoyed
lot.
it.
Could go for another 2 hours. Let's go.
You want to go for another 2 hours?
Yeah, but not recorded.
Well, I know.
Recorded it.
Deanna, I want to thank you for being part of the podcast. I
Thank you
am
for
so
having
happy
me
that you're
back.
back.
Thank
And you're one of my favorite people in the whole entire world.
I love you.
And
Thank
I
you.
was okay. So we have to say this because I don't think we talked about it. Did we see Justin Timberlake the last time you were on the podcast?
No.
Okay. So we're gonna end on this, and this is why I love Deanna so much. Deanna and I went to see Justin Timberlake over the summer. We were
Days
basically-
after his DUI.
Yeah.
days after his
I don't
DUI.
think
He was gonna cancel it or something. Was that?
We
a
all
thing?
thought he
talked about
was.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
We had the shirts planned, didn't we? We were
Yeah,
talking
but
about it.
we didn't wear shirts.
Yeah.
But we were talking about it.
Yeah. First, Tommy Lee was there.
Yeah.
behind
yeah.
us.
Ripping cigarettes in the United
Ripping
Center.
cigarettes, and everybody that worked there hated him.
Love it.
But my favorite thing is that Justin Timberlake at the end, he's on this big contraption, and he has this really weird bungee thing on, and you and I were just like, what is going on with that? We're like, I don't really know. And then the whole
And he's
thing,
singing Mirrors. He's singing Mirrors as
your
the
favorite
finale.
song,
I love
which
Mirrors.
is your favorite song. And then you have a video of this, and it's so funny because it tips forward, and then all of a sudden the bungee like kind of like gets taut, like or tight, and then Deanna and I both realized what he was doing at the same time, and you can hear us in the video go, oh,
We both go,
whoa,
because it's now like he's like coming out into like it's like a 3D. He's just like coming out into us, and he's like
above us.
like it's just so cool.
yeah.
The set design is killer.
And I'm not gonna lie, he made a couple eye contacts with Deanna the whole time.
But
up
he
there.
very pointedly refused to touch my hand.
yeah, because he's too nervous.
So I was too
Too
nervous.
nervous, yeah.
Justin, come on.
Yeah.
I know I famously was a Lance Bass girl, but I can make room for two in my heart.
Yeah, right. JT, get on the podcast.
Come on.
But okay, so other than seeing us at Justin Timberlake, where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Deanna Ortiz _. I am filming a special at the Den on June 20th that you should please come to. It's all about, I used to work in porn doing social media. And so it's all about what I learned and how watching porn every day for 5 years made me a better person.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Very excited. Do you have a name for that yet?
Funny slut.
Funny slut.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because someone called me a funny slut. And I was like, I'm not trying to be funny right now. I'm actually trying to be slutty. And it didn't work.
Oh.
But that's part of the joke. And you'll laugh. You won't feel bad for me. You'll laugh.
Well, dumb fucks. That's what we call our fans.
You know, a hog squad.
We have Hog Squad. No, because it's not just all boys. But
Girls
yeah,
can have hogs.
It's
huge
fun,
hogs.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
squats.
Mm-hmm. I bet you'd have a real thick dick.
Yeah.
Do you think you would?
I hope I do.
I bet you would.
I hope I do.
There's still time.
But yeah, please go to Deanna's taping. She's incredibly funny, and you're my favorite people. Thank you so much for being here, Austin. I love you as well.
Really?
If you like the no, I just said that because you're next to me.
Yeah,
if you like the podcast, please like, subscribe, make sure to give us a review, help spread the word. We are completely independent, so please keep telling everybody. And that is it. Next week, Joe will be back, and we're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yay.
Have fun, guys. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.